The time of the great console wars are coming to an end. If the rumors are to be believed, Xbox is beginning its biggest turn to becoming a true third-party publisher in the industry. The internet has freaked out and hyperventilated all week. Some have celebrated, some have mourned, and others have played Power World. We'll talk about all things the future of Xbox and more because this is the XP Podcast. Good morning, evening, or afternoon. What's up, everybody? And welcome to the XP Podcast, episode 71 for the first week of February 2024. I'm your host, Mike Z, and joining me once again, this time for the first time, fourth time, it is the man, the myth, the legend, Andrew S. Burgerstein himself. Welcome.
Burgerstein. That's a new one.
Yeah.
Oh my
What's
gosh,
up,
we are back again.
Yeah.
Great week. Oh, my door's open for some reason. I don't. Okay.
Hoping no one breaks in.
I just hope my dogs don't random. I mean, that's okay. The dogs can make an appearance.
Yeah,
that's
welcome.
fine.
Kona's always fucking usually walking around. You see her
Cat,
tail
though.
sometimes.
The cat though, cat's an asshole.
Yeah,
she'll
fuck cats.
come in here whenever she wants to. Yeah, we've got a exciting.
Yeah,
slate of
it's gonna be
events
it's
and
gonna be an
news
interesting
going on.
episode. We
It
got
is.
something pretty big happening, or maybe it could all just be for nothing, and the entire internet has completely blown up for no apparent reason. But it doesn't seem to be with the old like the attitude of like where there's smoke, there's fire. There seems to just be too many things leaking out there that something's going down. Like the industry will not look, especially one party won't look the same in a month or so. Or we won't think of it the same. Anyway, we're getting too deep into it, man. How was your week, buddy?
We are. Wow. I saw you. Yep, last week. Yeah, it has been about a week. Week has been.
Well, you saw me about 3 hours ago at work.
3 hours ago. But last time we recorded.
was a week ago. Exactly.
We have had. Yeah, week has been, and we'll get into it. We've had some cool new games come out. You know, over the weekend we saw a cool movie we'll talk about. We've just been busy.
Yeah, pretty much everything that we've done together. We saw the movie in theaters. You came over, watched a couple movies. We played both of our games together. And it's like, we almost did everything together this week.
Yeah, I mean, just starting the gym this week, and doing school and doing work. It's catching up to me. So
yeah,
I realized I'm glad to finally have a week to just kind of hang out.
Yeah, I realized about an hour ago I went to stand up, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm feeling that leg workout this morning.
That's what I've been missing.
Do you realize at 5:30 in the morning we were doing squats?
Yeah.
That's either awesome or
terrifying.
I don't know.
Some of you people listening weren't even awake at that time. And we were in there destroying our muscles. But hey, it all works out in the end, we hope.
For the gains. Oh, I'm going to get you in shape, man, if you just listen to me. You'll probably leave before I get a chance to finish it. But
Dictator. It's okay.
I could not help you. Is that what you want? Just like you bitching on the game last night. I could just let you fucking die like you did 12 times and shot 32 shots. Is that what you want? I'm trying to fucking help you, man.
It was more shots than that. I just couldn't get
No, it was 33 kills. That's right.
There you go.
33 kills, yeah. 112 shots. All right, anyway, yeah. Good week. Went on a new schedule. Everything worked out well. We got up early, went to the gym, got our workouts in. Played the games we wanted to play, except someone bailed on me on Thursday morning. Thank you for that. He forgot his phone in the bathroom.
I'm sorry.
But no, all jokes aside, it's a good week. I'm doing a lot. I'm trying to do a lot this year. I know the whole New Year's resolution is kind of like a bullshit thing, but I really did try to focus on improving just my general self, like eating better, getting better habits. Speaking of habits, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I haven't been doing something while we're streaming because I quit doing it. No more vaping for me. Not that, I think, it's the worst
Healthy
thing.
lungs.
That's
all 2024.
Yeah. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world out there. Like, I've done my research, and I mean, it's
not cigarettes.
Yeah, it's not amazing, but it's also, you could be doing coke. So, speaking of coke,
where is it? Oh, we got you.
That's an age-old joke. Yeah, someone's just audio listening, just like waiting for the sniff. Just he was like, "Oh my god, he's doing coke on the podcast." Fucking call the
I
FBI. I
want to
don't
be a
know.
part of this.
That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? No, but yeah, I've just been trying to kind of commit to just being generally more healthy. Peyton and I are eating right, you know. We're trying to just live a life, go to bed at a decent time, wake up, get to the gym, get schoolwork done. And when I tell you, man, when we get up at like 4:30, I get home from the gym like 6:20, and I don't have class till like 12:30 ish. I'm like, damn, my homework's getting knocked out all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still playing video games in the morning. So it's good. I'm hoping we can stay on it. I mean, I probably will. I don't think I'm gonna. It's getting that one up. That's a challenge. I wake up all the time pretty easily, so
Yeah, right. I mean, right now it's following, my work schedule at Lowe's. But like I've talked to you about, if I do get that new one, it'll still be the same work schedule. But I won't be working out, going to work just to work out again. I'll be doing normal things in like an office setting. So
sounds so
yeah,
boring, dude. I had one
and
office job. I can never do it again. I can't do it.
you gotta,
I gotta be moving, man. I gotta be doing something.
yeah.
Yeah, I worked as a car salesman, and I don't think I've ever been felt fatter. Honestly, or felt more like an asshole. I don't think.
Hey, that takes skill though. It does take skill to
Yeah, you have to be
persuade
the.
selling techniques.
No, it takes skill. You have to be one of the most despicable human beings on the face of the planet. And it's truly an
Mm-hmm.
awful position. I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand people who enjoy it. It's not. You have to work like 50 hours a week, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're there
It's
almost every day of
awful.
the week plus Saturdays.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
they're open every day of the week.
no. The close on Sundays, so you
I
get
thought like
Sundays off.
salespeople work. I thought salespeople work Sundays.
No,
It's like the service people are closed on
no. At least in
Sundays.
my dealership that I worked at,
Okay.
we were closed on Sundays, and each salesman got one of the days off, but it was staggered. It's like I got
Okay,
Wednesdays
gotcha.
off, so I got Sundays and Wednesdays off. Worst schedule ever,
That is a
dude.
bad schedule.
It was awful. The good news is you didn't really request time off. You're just like, hey, I'm not gonna be here Saturday, and they're like, okay, well, it's your check, not ours, so you don't get the money. So it's like you can just leave if you wanted to, like a
Hmm.
week straight. There wasn't like any vacation time. It's just like you're not selling cars, so you're not making money, and if you don't make your
Yeah.
quota, we're gonna let you go. That's eventually what happened to me because I think in my 4 months that I worked there, I sold like 4 cars. I was a very bad
Hey,
car
hey,
salesman,
that's
man.
one car a month, man. That's a good average right
I
there.
was a very shit salesman, dude. I never lied to anybody. I always like, yo, man, like this car has this problem. You know, I was the worst salesman ever.
He was a recall expert salesman. They're like, hey, don't get this one though, but you could do this one.
But anyway, yeah. So don't be a car salesman, guys out there. Nice. And if you are a salesman, if you listen to us, don't be mad. If you're good at it, that's fine. Maybe you're one of the nice salesmen out there that really tries to be honest. There was one of them that I worked with that really tried to be as honest as she possibly could. Then there was this other dude there that was like, oh, I bet I can get him to buy the shit car over here. I'm like, cool, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you as a human being? Like I remember we were standing outside once and like because we would watch the parking lot and he was like, oh look at this guy. I bet I can buy that shit car. And he was like, hey, I'm getting a car for my first car for you know my I think it was a son. I don't remember. And
Yeah.
dude, he just got so excited. He's like, oh dude, I'm about to just fucking steal all their money. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. I was like, let me not fucking talk to you ever again. How about that? But all right, let's jump into the episode. We
uh,
start the week as we do all weeks with a question of the week from the audience. So sometimes from the audience, not always from the audience, but we want them to all be from the audience. So if you have an idea, if you have something that we want to talk about, if you do listen to us week in and week out, we do appreciate it. There's not a lot of you, but we're hoping to get more and more as we keep doing these and keep bringing in more and more ideas and people. But go ahead and comment down below if you have questions of the week. We'll talk about anything. If you want to hear about, Andrew and I's experience in the gym, maybe some personal stuff, why I quit vaping, you want me to dig into that, general gaming or pop culture stuff, movies, TV shows, whatever it is, comment down below. We will put them in a document and we'll try to get to as many as we possibly can. But this week's is a very simple one that we both have a story to tell for. It is, what is the longest amount of time that you sat playing a game non-stop? Mr. Andrew, what is your story?
I'm really trying to think back because it hasn't been just like one experience. I mean, it's been multiple games that have put me in that groove of, oh my god, I don't want to do anything else. Like this is all I want to play. Um, I have to say the story that's really like alarming is probably when I got my Xbox One for the first time. Got it gifted on Christmas. Gifted. There we go. Words. It's okay. You guys didn't see it, but we were having trouble with words earlier. It's fine.
Well, I was having trouble with words.
You still kind of messed it up, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, I just decided to keep going,
And then
man.
I said, like, yeah, let's keep going.
I wasn't doing it for the 4th time, so fuck that intro. It was a good written intro. I just couldn't talk it.
What? Couldn't talk the talk.
Couldn't talk the talk. But I wrote the rote. I don't. It's late, man. We've been up for a long time. We've been up for fucking 15 hours already, all right?
Oh my god.
Woo!
All right.
Speak. Like the dog that you are. I'm sorry. Jesus.
Oh my god. That's a clip on TikTok.
Speaking of TikTok, we're trying to get a TikTok going. So if you're seeing us on TikTok, our editor, if you put us on here, this segment, hello, welcome.
Hey,
come join the actual podcast. I say out of pocket shit for 2.5 hours a week, pretty much on here. So join us. You never know when you're gonna get a dick comment from me.
Or bear sex.
Well, bear sex is kind of old and trodden, you know. We've been there. Fucked that, you know.
Been there.
All right.
All right.
We're gonna get very off track. We got a long episode, so.
All right. So where are we at? We're at 2016, 2015. When did that Xbox One come out? 2015.
Xbox One came out in 2013.
2013.
Yeah, it came out with the PlayStation.
So.
The PlayStation 4.
Xbox One.
I said it came out with the PlayStation 4.
Okay, I thought you said on the PlayStation. I was like, what? Okay. Yeah, so think about, Christmas of 2013 is when I'm gifted the Xbox One, and Assassin's Creed Unity has come out, so I get the bundle of that. I know.
I got that same bundle, to be fair.
Yeah. So I played that game all the way through. So think about Christmas time. You got family stuff going on, but with my family, we always did mother's side. I would go like Christmas Eve, and then on my dad's side, we would go like around New Year. So I had time, and I didn't have anything going on. It was winter break. I was a kid. I wasn't working. I was literally not doing anything. So I think I got that gifted. I spent Christmas with my family. My grandpa came over. Yada yada yada. I set it up, and then went and hung out with family. So then I'm done. I go back and I start playing Assassin's Creed Unity. Like, this game looks cool. I pulled up a walkthrough as I always do because I'm gonna get lost at times. I know. I'm that person. But I sat down, I believe it was like after dinner, 7 o'clock at night. I played that game all the way through. My man cave was in the basement, so I was just huddled up down there. I didn't have the privilege to have the stuff in my room yet. I was just a kid, so I think I left there. We had a bathroom down there, and I only had to go up the stairs to get like food and drinks and stuff. So I think out of that time, I left the basement like an hour collapsed. I was gaming from Christmas night until December 28th. So I went about 5, 26, 27, 12, 24, 36. I may have gotten 4 hours of sleep in 48 hours. Maybe. No, wait, that's wrong. 24, 48, 72. Okay. So 4 to 5 hours of 100 plus hours of sleep I probably should have had. Yeah, it was a bad time. And it was like a game like we all know, it's Unity. I should have not wasted my time on any other game. I probably should have.
You probably should have wasted your time on any other game, is what you should have said. Yeah.
But, I'm a kid. I want to play. I was having fun. What took so long was I think it was like one of those last battles you did up on the rooftop or up on the tower when you met. Forgot who it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was a final. It was a boss. It was like I call it a boss.
Yeah. Battle. When the true like villain is revealed, you fight on top of Notre Dame.
Yep.
Yeah.
I spent hours.
I've beat Unity twice, by the way, which is why I think my opinion on the game is validated in some sort of way, and the fact that I beat 100%. Almost every single mainline Assassin's Creed game. All right, Logan's not on here to argue me this time and talk about how much he loves what is widely regarded by the fan base as one of the worst parkour systems in the series. Yes, it looks cool, but it's not interactive in essentially. The game is not good. The game looks beautiful. It's one of still, to this day, the best looking Assassin's Creed games ever. The animation style, everything. But the fact that everything was based off the animations, the parkour, the combat, everything. There was no actual inertia in the player's input. Like if you hit the button for an attack, you could not stop that attack until the animation had played out. It led to clunky combat, clunky traversal, where I guess not clunky traversal. The parkour is super easy because you would hold L1 and X to climb, or L1 and circle to go down. There was no other inputs. 2 buttons and you can climb up or down. Well, I guess forward on the stick, but that's a fucking given, you know? Anyway, Logan's not on here to fucking argue with me, even though the entire fucking fan base of Assassin's Creed is behind me. Well, maybe not the entire one. The new little boys that play, like, Odyssey and all that are like, oh, it's so great! Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
I'm in a mood today, by the way. So when we get to around the point, man, I got some shit to say. All right.
Those 4 hours of sleeping were because we had a 2-hour drive to my family. So 2-hour drive, I was sleeping there. 2 hours on the way back. If I was at home, I was gaming. It was a bad time. That's when I realized I can only do about like a day or so of nonstop. Because after that, I like crashed from the 28th until like I think I got done with the game. I actually didn't even get done during that time because I had enough of it and I was getting mad at the boss fight or whatever. So I want to say I didn't finish it until after my sleep, and that was from the night of the 28th until I woke up the next day. I think I fell asleep after dinner on 28th, so 6. Woke up the next day at 9 o'clock at night. I was like, oh my god. I was just out in my room. It was bad. My parents had to come check on me. It was crazy. Yeah. I haven't done that yet because, grew up, responsibilities. I actually have responsibilities now. Kind of sucks. So I can't just stay up nonstop and play a game.
I rarely do that anymore. Nowadays, usually my when I'm really into a game and I'm like deep into it, my normal like long form gaming session is like 8 hours tops nowadays. But back in the day, let me tell you what, man, the longest one I could, and there may have been longer ones when I was like fucking super small, like we're talking about like 8 or 9, trying to figure out Final Fantasy 7, how the fuck to play that thing. I still don't know how to play that game, but when I was trying to figure it out, I may have been like, playing dispersed games for longer than this, but the longest true single gaming session where I didn't turn the console off, I didn't really stop playing other than to like maybe go get some food, or I had food like microwave or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me set the stage for you. November 10th, 2011. It is 9 o'clock. I'm in my dorm room in my sophomore year in college. My roommate is excited to watch me play this game for the first time. We load up in the car. We drive to GameStop. We get there about 9:45-ish, 10 o'clock. We stand in line until 12:30 in the morning when I finally get through the line to go get my copy of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim.
Skyrim.
I grabbed the copy at 12:30. If I remember correctly, this was 13 years ago, 12 years ago.
13 years ago. 11.
Well, not 13 yet, because it's the first.
Okay,
it's February.
so,
yeah, it's about 12 here. It was like around 12:30 with when I got my copy, and we get back home. My roommate's excited. We boot it up. I play for a couple hours. He goes to bed. Right. He's got class about this was at Culver, so all class started at 8 o'clock. So he gets up about 7:45. I'm still playing, right?
Yep.
He goes to class. At Culver, it was more high schooly than it was like modern Memphis College. So like you went to class for a little bit longer. So I believe he came back for lunch about 11:30, 12 o'clock. I was playing. He goes, "Man, you still going?" And I was like, "Yeah." All right. He goes back to his afternoon study session. I believe he has study sessions and all that. And I think he had a after-school job or something like that. Gets back about 4:30. I am playing. Okay. He goes to the gym and he goes to hang out. Gets back about 9. I am playing. By the time I could not keep my eyes open anymore, I had been up for probably about 40-something hours or something like that. It was a long time that I'd been up, 48 or so. It was one of the longer times I've ever stayed awake at one time. There was my buddy from high school and I did this challenge where we tried to stay up the longest we possibly could. I think we both made it around like the 68-hour mark. It was fucking insane.
Oh my god.
Dude, we were doing like fucking tobacco and just slamming monsters. Watching.
Oh, yeah.
We tried to get it through. I mean, we watched all the Lord of the Rings movies in one sitting. We were doing all kinds of. We went for a run at like fucking 3 o'clock in the morning because we were like, we can't go to sleep. We were challenging each other. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. I've never felt so sick and so unhappy. Like my brain was playing tricks on me, man.
I made it just about 96 hours. I was feeling it. Like I was, my desk was filled with Red Bull cans and Monster cans, and it was bad.
That was one of the worst things. Anyway, by the time I went to bed, by the time I closed the game and saved the game, my save file had climbed to the mere number of 18 hours and 36 minutes. I remember it to the minute, not to the second. So I played for 18 hours and 36 minutes straight. The first day that Skyrim came out, and I don't regret any of it. And looking back on it now, Skyrim's still a game that can boot up for fun and lose fucking 5-6 hours in. Just randomly, I look down, I'm like, oh shit, I missed my class. Yeah, I'm still in school, which is crazy. That's the craziest part about the story. I'm still in college.
Still in school, still in college.
But man, what a fucking video game. I'll never forget Skyrim to the day that I leave. I mean, I've put over 400 hours into multiple different playthroughs across different consoles and versions with PC. Probably closing to like 500 now, but it's one of the greatest games ever made, regardless of the fact that it doesn't really hold up that incredibly well visually nowadays. It still looks good, but you know, you can tell it's a decade old now at this point.
Yeah.
But man, what an absolute fucking game, man. Killer game. Never forget that time. And I'll never forget my roommate when he came home from the night. He goes, "Bro, you're still playing." And I was like, "What time is it?" He was like, "It's 9 o'clock." I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "I need to go to bed." I don't think it was like 9 o'clock, but it was something like that. It was something stupid.
Yeah.
It was like after 5 for sure. But he was like, "Dude, are you good?" I was like, "I think I am. I think I'm good, yeah." And like the moment he got home and like sat there and like we started talking, I was like, I think I should probably go to bed because I can't see straight. So, all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that bright note, if you didn't know, this is in fact the XP Podcast, a weekly video game and pop culture news podcast, where a whole bunch of us here at the Experience Point sit down with y'all and talk about all the news stories and happenings inside and out of the video game world. We post a new episode each and every week, so you can listen to it whenever you desire. You can find us on most of the popular podcasting services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the XP Podcast, please head on over to our Patreon, where you get to be a part of our weekly discussions and give us your opinions on everything we talk about and everything we don't. You'll also be able to find all of our uploads there, along with any exclusive episodes we may post. Links for that are in the description down below, or will be once I figure YouTube out, which I gotta talk to them tomorrow about this crap. Anyway, when it does come back, I will back post everything. So links for that, as always, will be in the description down below. Or you can simply go to patreon.com and search Experience Point, spelled capital X, capital PERIENCEPOINT. However, if you don't have any money to send our way, don't worry. We still love and appreciate you for listening to us and being a part of what is hopefully a growing community. You can also go over to our YouTube channel where you get this show and all of our shows in video format. If you do, please give us a like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you can be aware of everything we post when we decide to post it. Previously on the XP Podcast, on episode 70, it was Andrew and I sitting down and grading the PlayStation State of Play for January 31st, 2024. We both gave it a rousing, successful grade. So head on over, check that out. Come on back and see what happened this week. We also talked about could PlayStation be gearing up to make another PSP, probably the PSP 2 or whatever the hell they call it. We also talked about the day before blaming everybody but themselves, and you get to hear and see Andrew go on a rant where he gets very close to the camera. It's a thumbnail. So if you wonder what that face is, go check out that portion of the episode. And we talk about so much more. But with all that out of the way, though, let's get into this week's show. In around the point where there's smoke, there's almost certainly fire. It appears Xbox is launching their true third-party initiative shortly, and the internet certainly has a lot to say about this turn of events, and so do we, so stay tuned for that. Ubisoft has told us they are recommitting to high-quality video games in the future. Good for them. And Call of Duty is officially going open world and more. Then in LTR, we dive into the reviews for this week's games. Let me tell you what, it's a long list. But before we get to all that, it's time for what is and forever will be the rundown, where we catch up on all things pop culture that we've been doing, whether it be gaming, TV shows, movies, books, comics. Doesn't matter to us because we like it all and love to talk about it. Different style this week, considering Andrew, outside of one game apiece, have done all the same things. So let's knock out those one game apiece. So you start with old David Cage's magnum opus.
Wait, what?
David Cage is the man who directed Detroit Become Human. So.
Oh, okay. Forgot about that one. Yes, I am playing through Detroit Become Human finally. I never played it. I think it came out, 2018. I was still in high school. So I started the game, but I was like, I was in high school. I didn't know anything. I wanted to play Madden and whatever. I just got tired, and there I am. So I was like, I'll get to it later. Never got to it. And it's just been on that list. It's always been on the list. The backlog has been, refreshing, and what comes on the list, Detroit Become Human, is still on there. Like, hey, let's knock that one out quick. When I could be playing, Uncharted, Resident Evil, Last of Us, literally anything, God of War Ragnarok. Could be playing all of those on PlayStation, but we're here. Overall, and you heard about what I said. If you guys watched, you'll see what I said last week about the game, of how I want to be turned to a adaptation. The one thing I like about this is it's your choice-based game. So I try and remember what I chose back when I first started, the opening, not to actually spoiler cast it, we won't do that. But the certain events that you do in the first scene of the game, the choices you make on whether you can save someone, not save someone. I try and, fiddle around, like, what if I don't, investigate so-and-so, then what happens? Like, how does he do it from there? And then just other things about, because how, follows through characters. So I just try and switch it around and see what happens. I know there's some, like, locked-in scenarios that will happen for everyone, but they were actually very good as how that wasn't always the case. Because after every story, obviously, you get to see, how many different paths you had. So I try and remember that, and then that way, next time if I ever play it, I can try and do a different path, and then see what happens there. I'm having fun. I think I'm about... I don't know if Mike has played the game at all, and he remembers. I don't think you didn't play it, did you? Did you play it?
Yes, I love Detroit Become Human.
Oh,
man.
okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to get done.
You never really talked about it.
To be fair, I like Quantic Dream a lot. My first Quantic Dream game was Heavy Rain. Really, really loved Heavy Rain. Played that multiple times, and then I went on to the next one, which is widely regarded as nowhere near as good, and that is... I didn't freeze. I'm thinking Beyond Two Souls. Beyond Two Souls, and then Detroit Become Human was the final one that was exclusive to PlayStation because the relationship between Sony and Quantic Dream fell apart, very, very publicly. They do not like each other anymore. So, yeah, I mean, I adore Detroit Become Human. When it came out, it was a perfect time. It came out right after God of War 2018. I beat God of War 2018 like 3 days before Detroit Become Human came out, so I went straight into that. You talk about a great year for PlayStation. It went God of War, Detroit Become Human, Spider-Man. That's a fucking year. We haven't got that in a long time. But yeah, dude, I still remember a buddy of mine came down shortly after I had rolled credits on Detroit, and he was talking about this whole scene, and I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
He was like, what do you mean? I'm like, never saw that. Never saw that. He was like, really? I was like, yep. He was like, well, what do yours look like? And I was like, I went here and did this, and then there was this scene, and this like was in the station. That's all I'm gonna say. He was like, no, didn't see that. He goes, I went to a
Yeah.
different, like I did this, and then she went here, and I was like, wow, this game is fucking wild,
Yep.
dude.
Yep.
I'm like, this game is
I
absolutely
think what
wild.
you're probably like, yeah, obviously no spoiler, but you're probably talking about like the ending of the game getting. So I'm at the part right now. I'm at, again, not to spoil, but I'm at like where they're finally starting the, movement is what we'll call it a movement.
Oh, you got a ways to go still.
Yeah. So you want to say that's halfway, but it's not, because I forget how much is actually built up from there. No, I love
Oh, dude, me,
Jesse,
Minka
Jesse
Kelly's character.
Williams.
Oh, Jesse Williams.
Jesse Williams.
But Minka,
I
dude,
love Jesse Williams. I'm
Minka,
sorry, guys. Grey's Anatomy's fan. I've watched it since 2008, 2009. So I'm always going to be a Grey's Anatomy fan. So seeing Jesse Williams on there, oh, I was so excited.
Minka Kelly. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Minka
Yep.
Kelly.
Yep. So if you guys haven't played it, go play it. I mean,
That's great.
It's entirely a game of your choice. Single player, obviously. I know some people don't like that. You have your opinions, it's fine. But choice based, and I wish there was a video. Like, you wouldn't think there's a video to watch a walkthrough, but there's no way you can have a walkthrough, because literally everyone is dedication and props to whoever made a walkthrough to every single scenario. That would take a lot of time.
You have to do that to platinum the game. So if you got the platinum, you solved everything. So
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let me knock out my only singular one, and then we'll work our way through everything that we've been. Well, I guess there's one TV show I watched.
You've got that, but that, and you've got the two that I haven't played. So.
Oh yeah, but literally Yakuza. I guess last week I was on chapter 14. Now I'm on chapter 15. Very little progress done. But dude, when I tell you the fucking grind at the end of this game, every single new fight, it's like, okay, I gotta go fucking grind 2 more levels. It is, dude, the difficulty spike once you get to chapter 12 is obscene. It's fucking obscene, dude. I did get past the boss fight I was stuck at last week. I grinded through that, and it was actually a really cool way that I beat it. And I would love to say that it dawned on me by myself, but nope, it did not. I looked at my guide and helped walk through. But it was cool the way that to make it, you're fighting a character from the original games, like the first 6 games. And this character is infamous for not ever hitting a woman. Even if you try to do it in game, he won't do it as a character. They go to stop. Mm-hmm. So the way I beat it is I put 2 females in my party. He never once attacked them, so I just had them, one healing both the other guys, and then one pretty much setting himself, like lowering his defense, lowering his attack, just classic RPG stuff, and boosting my guys, being a support character. So I had a healer, a support, and then my 2 offensive guys that were taking all the brunt of the damage, and that's how I ended up beating. But it's still, dude, the fight itself took like 35 minutes. And there's no different stages. Like, if you lose this fight, boom, done. It's over. So it was a hell of a grind. And said now I'm on to chapter 15. And now there's apparently this whole new set of area you could grind in the game, because this new thing like kind of opened up. So I don't know, man. It's not paced very well. I loved the first 11-ish chapters of Yakuza Like a Dragon. I absolutely adored it. I thought it was amazing. The difficulty was ramping up nicely. It challenged me in the boss fights. And I had to make sure I kept things going. But man, there's a difference between challenging boss fights and just an over-level character for what you could possibly be, unless you have done. It's not even do everything, because you don't get that much experience from side quests. So you literally have to grind. It's one of those games you have to go out and you have to grind things out. And that sucks. I don't like when JRPGs do that. One of my favorite from the early 2000s or the early 20-aughts is Ni no Kuni. And that game has some fucking crazy difficulty spikes. Like, I'm talking about, like, you're fighting characters at your level or below your level, and you walk up this mountain, which the mission tells you to, and there's a boss that's 10 levels above you. And you're like, oh, Okay, and now you got to go and fight these fucking little creatures who every time you level up, you get less experience because your character is a higher experience gap between the two things. So, dude, you have to grind for like 3 hours just to fight like one of the first bosses. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how that's
You knew
going.
that. You knew that going in though. It's a Yakuza game. I think you knew. I don't think you knew like
No,
how
this
the
is
ending would
this
be.
is the first turn-based Yakuza game, like
Yeah.
traditional role-playing game. The rest of them are all action games.
Okay.
You know, I mean, yeah, you have level ups and all that, but they're all action games. If you're good enough for the combat, you can get through anything. But anyway, the other JRPG I've been playing, Persona 3 Reload. I'm only playing it with Peyton when we're both available and we're both doing it. I'm playing the game with her. This is a very long play. I do not plan on beating this game anytime soon. Maybe not even this year. But we're gonna keep going through it, keep experiencing it together. She likes watching the Persona game, so I'm only 3 hours into it. But I want to say, not as modern of a Persona game as I was hoping it was going to be. It definitely, they took everything from the old game and just kind of rebuilt it. It is a remake. It looks visually different. The combat is different. The stages are set up different. Everything is redone and remixed in a way, but it's not really the remake we think when we go like Resident Evil 2 to the Resident Evil 2 remake. It's not that big of improvement where it like completely redefines the game. It's the same game, the same combat. It's a different layout and different controls and all that, but it's not as crazy of a jump as I was, I guess, hoping for. And there's some little nuances and things that even Peyton and I have saw, and I'm like, that's a little weird. I don't like the way they do that. Or, I mean, okay, the weirdest thing is whenever there's a big crowd of people, especially in the school, like they're just stationary positions. So it's just like a group of people like this, and the other one's like this, and they don't move as you walk around them. So it's just used to like visual propagation in a way.
Yeah.
And if you move like through them, there's no clipping. They just disappear as you walk through them. So if you move through like the middle of like there's a scene in a gym. If you move through the middle of the gymnasium, it has a bunch of people. It has one person dribbling the ball, but the draw's like freezed in midair, right? And he's just going down. You walk through him, everyone just disappears as you walk through him. I'm like, that's a lot. That breaks the immersion like crazy. So it's not perfect. I mean, it's a Persona game, so it's amazing. You get your social links. It's addicting as hell to play if you ever played a Persona game. But
We'll say that was hard. That was hard to find. First of all, like you want to talk about hard to find game to fucking purchase. I mean, we had to go to Best Buy and then GameStop.
I know how to give GameStop money.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
Yeah.
So Persona 3, still great. I'm sure it's gonna be an amazing experience once you get all the way through it. But first, if you had to compare the first 3 hours to Persona 3 or Persona 4 and 5, both of those, not even close. Persona 4 and 5 are fucking incredible, dude.
Sounds like a game that you'll have on your library, and you'll just be reminded. Oh, you need to complete that at some point.
Yeah.
Because we
All
got
right.
so much coming out.
Let's dive into the similarities here. Where do you want to start? Let's just go in order of how we experienced it this week. First and foremost, last weekend, literally the day after we recorded the episode, we went to go see the new Matthew Vaughn movie, Argyle, starring Bryce Dallas Howard, Samuel L. Jackson. I forgot the dude's name.
Dua Lipa.
Starring Dua Lipa, John Cena, Henry Cavill. I forgot the actual main dude's name. I feel bad.
Many people, yeah.
Yeah. But as I've sat with it, I've softened on it.
Yeah.
I love Matthew Vaughn. I think Kingsman is one of the great spy thrillers, action movies of the 2000s. I think it's amazing. I love it. Sequel, not so much. Haven't seen The King's Man. Or Men, or whatever the hell they're called. But I think this movie is visually just stunning and weird as fuck, dude.
Weird. I mean, oh my gosh, we were sitting there, and it's just, oh my god, talk about a movie.
But you don't know what the hell's going on.
In movies, you kind of have a feeling like, oh my god, that's gonna happen. Like, oh my god, what the heck, that's going to happen. If you have that expectation and you're like that, don't have that coming into this movie. Don't.
Yeah. I think the plot overall, pretty good. Takes some surprising turns. Some of it, you could see the one big twist. I guess you could maybe see, but it'd be kind of hard for you to figure it
It
out. But
would be. But then the way that they, the way that they explained it and portrayed it, that was cool about,
yeah.
going
Oh, it's
through all
great.
of that.
Yeah.
It took a lot.
I think overall, when I left the theater, I said when I say soften, I don't mean I've gone from like a 5 to like a 2. All right, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I just realized some of the writing was overly cheesy in a way that I think
Yeah.
took a detriment, and I don't think the delivery was perfect. I like Bryce Dallas Howard, but I don't know if she fit the role that well that she was trying to play. Um, I guess I didn't buy her as the character they wrote her as. So that kind of took me out, and that kind of took away from the twist. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the movie
Yeah.
kept going on. I was like, I don't know if I really buy this.
Yeah.
But overall, I settled at a 3.5 out of 5. I think this is at the bare minimum, a really, really good watch and super fun and entertaining as a first viewing. It probably is not as engaging on multiple viewings unless there's a lot of stuff hidden in the first hour that I didn't catch. I don't think I didn't catch. I was paying pretty close attention, but it's a visually very engaging movie. It's action heavy. Its scenes are really cool. It's stylistic as hell. I mean, it's Matthew Vaughn, so the style dripping from every single fucking frame of this movie. And I think just on that alone, the visuals and the spectacle of the movie, it's worth going to the theater to see. At least maybe renting the movie to see it and check it out. I don't know if I would just actually go out and buy this movie when it comes out. Maybe when I see a good sale on Vudu or something, I'll pick it up for $5 or something like that. But I'm not mad that I saw it. I was just, as I've cooled off, I was like, okay, there were a couple things. I think I was overwhelmed by the visuals of the final set piece battle. But I think
Yeah.
as I pulled myself away, I'm like, there's actually quite a few things that I didn't exactly gel with. So I think 3.5, hell, I mean, that's still a good to great score in my eyes. I mean, and I think Baseline is a good, enjoyable movie, and I like Matthew Vaughn. I'll go see his next movie, but this one didn't exactly hit a home run leaving the park.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you think, man?
I mean, overall, a great, casting decisions. I think they did well casting the people that fit the role. I agree with you on, the main character. It was a little, and how he tried to portray her, and then fitting the new role that she got towards the end of the movie. That we're trying not to spoil as much, but I agree with you on how, like, okay, that, and then they explained the story as to, why it happened that way and what. I was like, that's, I mean, first of all, that's weird, Matthew Vaughn, but that's fine. I get it. It's just weird, but um, you're in the writing business, so I don't have the opinions that you do of like writing and stuff like that. I can't tell you. I was like, funny movie. I mean, John Cena being there. Who's the actor that was like? Who was the actor that was the spy?
Henry
What's his
Cavill.
name? No, not sorry, not the spy. The
Oh,
actual.
the main guy? Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Actual.
fucking remember his name, dude.
But
Let me look at
funny.
it.
Funny character. I mean, it was they. There was a lot of actual comedy thrown into this movie, which I did enjoy. That cat, man, love the
Sam
cat.
Rockwell. I should fucking
Sam
know Sam
Rockwell.
Rockwell, dude. God damn, man.
The
He
cat.
fucking Charlie's Angels movies, dude. He acted in. Man, it's old as
The
hell, dude.
the cat, man. That cat. If you guys show it, that cat shows up at all times.
The
Watch with
cat
the
looks
cat.
rough
Love the
sometimes,
cat.
though.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
it looks like
Yeah,
a
the editing
CGI
on
cat.
that. Yeah, it does. Especially
Yeah.
in what it was carried in. Yeah, it was. You could
It doesn't
definitely
look
tell.
good, but it is a fun
Yeah.
cat. It's a funny cat. So
Yeah. No, I had a overall enjoy time. I hadn't seen a Matthew Vaughn movie before.
you haven't seen
I don't think I
Kingsman?
ever did get to. I don't think I've ever did get to see Kingsman.
Oh, dude, you have to come over and watch the first Kingsman. It's fucking brilliant.
um, so I didn't have that many expectations going into it. I did overall enjoy I'm still with Mike on the score. Um, I did overall enjoy the movie. Um, I will say it's probably and will not be the best movie we see this year. If anyone has been paying attention this year, last year we had video games. This year we get movies. I mean, it's a great year of movies and everything finally coming together. coming out, so I'm very excited. But
March
yeah, I
1st,
did
man.
enjoy it.
March 1st, that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
March
Friday
1st.
night. Friday night. We'll be there.
Yep. We need to make sure we get our tickets. Because they'll probably go
Oh,
on sale next week.
I let him know. I
Okay.
let him know about they're already out on
Okay.
the site. So I let him know, and he could we talk about doing the 29th? I said, "Hey, that's when Rebirth comes out. I don't know if Mike will really want to go see a
I mean, I'll
movie."
go. It's no big deal. I don't
But
care.
if it's him taking us and like we're getting in, he'd have to work the next morning, Friday morning. I mean, we
Okay.
would too.
Yeah, so do we, yeah.
But if he's doing it, I think he'd rather it be on a Friday when he doesn't have to wake up early to go to work, even though we probably still will have to work.
Yeah. I
Um,
think we just do it on Friday. It makes it
overall,
easy.
Fridays are just movie nights. I mean,
I
that's
mean,
just
I'm
that's
not
like
gonna
an
I'm
overall.
not gonna get anything spoiled in one fucking day, dude. I can stay off
Yeah,
Twitter. X, sorry.
yeah.
But yeah,
All
man,
right.
I can't wait for Dune. All right, next thing on the docket, the next thing we would have done is Foam Stars. Came out Monday night, I think. Maybe it came out Tuesday. I came out Tuesday. Anyway, Foam
No,
Stars we
yeah, it
played.
came out Tuesday. We played Wednesday morning, and then
No, we definitely played Tuesday night.
no, I didn't. Remember, I downloaded it at night.
That's right. We played after the gym for a little bit, and then you
Yep.
came up. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yep.
I
Yep.
played Foam Stars Tuesday night. Then Andrew got on. We played Wednesday morning after the gym. What is there to say about Foam Stars? This is how I wanted to break this down overall. I wanted to be real. You're getting my real critical opinion there. You know, this is a PlayStation exclusive, but that doesn't have any weight on what I feel, regardless of what Logan thinks. Logan thinks just because it's PlayStation exclusive, it's fucking God's gift to Earth. I don't like Days Gone, dumbass. But man, Logan's catching strays, dude. But I'll say when you're in the game, when you're playing the game, when you're in a match and you're playing it, it is quite a bit of fun. Not a lot of fun, but it can be quite a bit of fun. When everything's coming together, it gets very hectic. When you finally come to grips with the game is and how to play. Your first couple matches, they're so annoying. You have no fucking clue
Yeah.
what's going on. It's impossible to understand. But once you get a grip of how to play, what to do, and how to play your character, there is quite a bit of fun to be had in the game. Everything else, everything else outside of the multiplayer matches is the most money grubby dog shit multiplayer Square Enix
40,
bullcrap
44.99.
I've ever seen. $44.99 for
44.99.
one character pack. What is that one character pack comes with? One character skin, one gun skin, one surfboard skin, one this, one emote, one of every single possible slot you have. It comes with one thing. $44.99.
We played a game, guys. We're gonna talk about this game soon. We played a game that costs less than that.
The entire
that.
game costs
The
less.
entire game costs less than a freaking.
Character
Oh my
skin.
god, dude, that's so.
Yes.
Ugh.
The microtransactions, fucking unbelievable. Somebody.
They're gonna need to look at that
Yeah.
if they really want to survive.
And look, let's not beat around the bush. This is a fucking Splatoon clone of Splatoon clones where the paint you can sometimes stack up. Which, again, like I said, when you're in the game, it's really cool. You can stack things up. You can block people's vision. You can surf on this. You can surf on it. You can do all this cool stuff. When the game is being played, it is a above average, at least I say 7 out of 10 game. It is a baseline good video game, and it's fun to play. Everything else outside of it, the microtransactions, the way the actual game modes rotate, where you only have a certain game mode for available for 2 hours at a time, and then that rotates out, and you have this other game mode available. So if you want to get on and play a certain game mode, like say you want to play that duck thing where you move the duck, like I want to play that.
Mm-hmm.
You probably can't.
Yeah.
You have to wait 2 hours till it's available. That's a dumbass decision. Apparently, that's something carried over from Splatoon. I don't know. I'm not a Splatoon player. That's what I've read. If that is, probably should have left that one in 2019. All right? That is a fucking shit system, and it's super annoying. And I know the reason, it's to soften the server load. I'm like, you're Square Enix. Buy a fucking server if you really want this game to succeed. And yeah, the single player boring, but I guess you get XP for it, so that's cool. The co-op is challenging. I enjoy the co-op. It's hard. You need to really communicate, and no one ever wants to talk
Let's
to anybody,
let's
so
let's just say there's not a lot of communicating when you're
there's not
playing
a
with
lot. And
random
dude, when I
teammates.
tell you, and I'm fucking chilled up in a ball in front of a character shooting, and he doesn't fucking surfboard me, I get slightly angry. The ginger comes out a bit. But yeah, man, I think overall, like I said, in game, solid 7 out of 10. It's fun, it's enjoyable. It does everything right when you're playing it. It gets almost everything else wrong. It gets at every single turn outside of playing the game, it probably made the wrong decision. But
I
granted,
agree with you on everything. Yeah.
yeah, I'm 5 hours into it, so I don't really think I can put a review on it. Although I'm 5 hours into it, and I almost have 100% of the trophies. We can talk about that later.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. No platinum either. That's a fucking travesty. Why is there no platinum? Fuck you, Square Enix. But yeah, man, it's just what what a fucking great. It's not even like it's a free to play game. It's free to play right now because it's on PlayStation Plus, so they already got their money from Sony. In a month, it'll be $30, which I know people are like, oh, that's awesome. Only $30. Yeah. You want a character that looks cool? $44.99. All right,
44.99.
moving on to the next thing. Would have been the 2 movies that we watched. I'm gonna let you talk mostly about this. I've been talking for a while. These are 2 movies that I love that I recommend to you, so we watched them. So go ahead, start with I don't know. You can do whatever you want, but go ahead and
We'll do the order that we watched them
okay,
in.
yeah.
So,
Talk about what you want, and I'll jump in if I got
yep.
something to say.
We obviously we were playing video games, and then Mike's like, just come hang out. We'll just we'll just have a day. We'll just chill. We're not going to work. We're not going to school. We're not doing anything. I was like, okay. So we went over there. We decided we wanted to watch some movies. So the first one we decided on watching is the lovely adaptation of Uncharted. Yes, I had never seen it since it came out. I haven't played an Uncharted game, so I thought it was cool that I got to see the movie first, and then I get to play the game, and then try and tie everything back to what I saw in the movie. We'll see. I'm not good at making connections, so we'll see. Overall, love the movie. I love one thing to know about me. I love Mark Wahlberg. Anywhere from why am I blanking already? Obviously, the Ted movies. He was great in. Entourage. Oh my God. I mean, talk about someone who can act but can also direct an amazing series. Let's talk about that. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's
he
crazy.
produced it. Really, it was mostly directed by Doug Ellen.
But talk about someone that can act and produce.
Yeah.
That could do it all within the movie industry.
Oh no, but man, well, Mark Wahlberg, fucking the other guys, he's great in that. In that fucking Michael Bay movie about the weightlifters. Why can't I remember the name? He's got the Rock in it as well. Anyway, that's good too. But yeah, no, Mark Wahlberg has been he's been a
Oh,
stalwart.
he's in Shooter. He's in Daddy's Home. Oh, he's in Transformers too. Yeah, because
Well, he's in
he's the
he's the one that fucking stops a sword
yeah.
as a human. Pain and Gain.
Um
That's the one I'm looking for. Pain and Gain. But yeah,
um
man, he's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, I loved him. Loved him in obviously the Ted series. I mean, that was. I'm a comedy person. I'm a full comedy movies, 100%. So to watch that and to still have that comedy, him and Tom Holland still have that comedy aspect in the game. I think PlayStation Studios did a great job at this. I had an overall amazing time. I enjoyed watching the movie. I'm excited to play the game. Um, I'm trying to think of. It was interesting because they obviously had not to spoil, but they play that one they play that one scene at the beginning of the movie, and then obviously a lot some movies do that. You play that one scene at the middle of the movie, I mean at the beginning of the movie, and then you work your way up to that scene. But it was weird, they did that, and then they just threw the scene back in there, but it was from that different perspective of what was going on, because you finally, which I think is smart, how you build around that scene to know everything that's going on. Now you get the different perspective because you know everyone in that scene and not just the one person that was there. Um, but yeah, I had a great time watching it. Um, and then what else were we doing? We were just hanging out. did we? Oh, we wanted some food. We had gone all the way to like 4 o'clock, and we're like, let's go get some food. So we did that, came back, and we had almost forgotten about it. And then it's like, oh, you haven't seen Crazy Rich Asians? I said, I have not. So, boy, oh boy, we watched that movie. Asians in general, man, we could go on and on about that. Oh my gosh, but let's not get too canceled on here.
I was gonna say, outside of the misogynist viewpoint, the patriarchal bullshit, it's actually what I think is a pretty good rom-com.
Yeah,
It's less rom-com and more just romance. Like, it's not really comedic
not
in a
even
way.
that. I mean, it is in a
It
way.
has funny, but it's not a rom-com.
Yeah,
No, it's more just a romance movie, and it's a really
it is.
great. In my opinion, it's a great romance movie.
Yeah, they didn't have
Solid
a lot
acting.
of like. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of comedic actors. I mean, they had. Well, I won't say comedic actors. That's not how you really cast. But characters that were, comedic in the movie. They had.
They're the one.
They had the one, her friend, but then they also had the cousin as well, the guy that played on Superstar. Superstore. I feel like those two were the only ones that were like, funny to me in the movie. So I know what they were going with the rom com. I feel like you want a rom com, you do Jennifer Aniston and what's his name? And The Breakup. That's a rom com.
Oh, Vince
That's
Vaughn.
full. Yeah, Vince Vaughn. That's full rom com. You do that.
Still one of the
But no,
greatest
again.
fucking comebacks of all time in that movie, man.
um,
Of Dick.
I-
Great
Dick.
comeback. Of Dick. Amazing comeback.
Of Dick. My sister's been through a lot.
Dick. I aspire to eventually, at one point in my life, have a zinger that fucking good, dude. All right.
Yeah,
man.
overall, I love this movie. I'm surprised I hadn't seen it before. When did it come out? It was
2020, 2021? One of those two?
2021?
No, it would have been before that. It was when I was still living in Cape, so it might have been 2018.
Wasn't it like 2017, 2018?
2018. Wow.
Okay. A lot
Crazy.
going on in 2018. Yeah, what a year we had.
Dude, 2018 was a banger. No word of a sequel of anything, but that's a little annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what they do. But yeah, I had an overall, enjoyment of watching the movie. And I'm big on I've been forced to watch a lot of romance movies. I live with a sister and mother, so I was, but I was talking to Mike about it, like, I've seen the good ones, Crazy Stupid Love, 10 Things I Hate About You. God, what else? I'll think of more. But this was a good little transition from those types of movies, and then Crazy Stupid Love is a funny movie. I do like it.
I love Crazy Stupid Love.
Mike doesn't think that the kid and the babysitter is one of the plots in the movie. Like, it is. It's like the only one I wanted to follow. Man.
I didn't say it wasn't one of the plots. I said it's kind of like not one of the true romances in the movie.
It is. It's the only one I wanted to know about.
By the way, check your phone when you get a chance.
Okay.
But yeah. Overall, and wholeheartedly, outside of the misogynistic patriarchal stuff that Andrew and I talk about, Crazy Rich Asians is legitimately a good movie, a good product, and so is Uncharted. I think Uncharted is honestly is so much better than it has any right to be. 3 directors, like 4 main actors and actresses that are trying to play the role of Drake. Just honestly, that movie should not have worked, and they somehow pulled it off enough to make over $400 million, and it kickstarted Sony's whole PlayStation production, and it's working out so far. So, all right, let's I got Reacher. I started watching Reacher season 2. It's awesome. It's Reacher. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's fantastic. But yeah, let's dive into the big one we played last night.
The big one.
And came out yesterday. I realized I played the game for 7 hours yesterday. A lot of that was me fucking walking around the ship though, because waiting for people and doing other stuff. But we have both now officially played. It's out. It's live. People can play it. I've been waiting for this game for a long, long time. Helldivers 2 is here. And for me personally, it was never really going to, I didn't feel like, but I did lower my expectations a little bit, and it broke those lower expectations. I think this game is fucking so cool so far, man. Whoever designed the drop music, whoever composed that drop, and whoever thought of just that drop scene,
Yeah,
bravo, man. I think it's one of the coolest openings to a multiplayer match of all time. It's not even really multiplayer, PvP, PvE, sorry. But, like, just, you think of, like, dropping in Warzone. That's really cool. It is really cool. It's still really cool, regardless of how Call of Duty is now. Dropping into a match of Warzone is still and fun. Dropping into a match of Fortnite, it's fun. For me, even though there's less player input, the drop in Helldivers 2 gets me so fucking pumped every single time. The combination of the music, the visuals, the sound effects of your pod going out the... Jesus. I punched everything. Fucking thwomping out the tube, dude. It is... I just fucked up my mic. Not my mic, my boom. I think I'm good. The fucking swoop as you come out, pair with the music, the fucking roaring. Let's be honest, it's Starship Troopers music, and it all comes together, I think, absolutely brilliantly. I really messed up my entire setup here, man. I gotta kind of adjust this shit on the fly here. And that's just what happens before the match.
Yeah.
What happens during the match is pure, unadulterated co-op chaos. And
Co-op
it's
chaos.
amazing.
Comedy
dude.
shit. Comedy shit.
Comedy co-op chaos. I'm calling it the 3 C's of gaming. It's great. I don't really know what more this could have been. And it knows exactly what it needed to be, and it knows exactly what it is, and it never presents itself as anything more than what it is. This is not a story-driven game. This is not a PvP game. This is a game where you and 3 friends, drop in and shoot aliens and robots and do some missions and get the fuck out. And you continually level up and you unlock new stuff and you just have fun together. And that's all this game is. It's all the game ever tries to be. And it pulls it off with rousing success in my eyes.
Yeah, it was... Oh my gosh, I mean, I was just even the opening scene, become a Helldiver, earn your wings, earn your cape, I think is what they said or whatever. Easy, this is a easy to pick up game. Freaking Logan was having issues because he wants to play it on PC and tried to add a DualSense controller to it. Fuck you, Logan, just play it on PlayStation. You have a DualSense.
In his defense, it's published by PlayStation. That should probably work.
Yeah, that's true. But I think we all overall had a good time. Fucking Worthy is just playing like, I didn't play the tutorial. He's just asking and trying to figure out what's going on for playing. Like, Worthy, we need you to know this stuff. Reinforce. I don't know how to do that. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Worthy's the real gamer though. Because not only did he not know how to do reinforce, he was by himself because all 3 of us were dead. And he somehow got us all back. So, that's real gamer right there.
It's just the comedy stuff of, if you reinforce, I'll be the first to reinforce and I'll fucking chuck y'all 50 meters away. And I'll be like, I'll just make them come back.
Or Logan drops a fucking artillery thinking it's just a little boom and he drops a nuke on half the team. And I fly approximately 600 feet off planet.
I think me and Mike both got a trophy because we flew so far from the fucking explosion. I saw the replay. It shows the replay of it going, then you two flying back. Oh my god.
And then the best death. The best death. It was annoying because I missed a particular trophy because of it. Alright. This man down here on your screen below me doesn't fucking listen to a word I say ever, right? So I set up a Gatling turret. If you don't know what Helldivers is, there's friendly fire all over the place. You get killed by literally everything. Your teammates.
I pissed Mike off once. He shot me.
I shot him with a shotgun because he pissed me off. So I wanted him to be dead. So I set up a fucking Gatling gun. All right. And I tell everybody in the team, I was like, here's where it is. Stay out of the middle lane because the bugs are going to be coming, and I don't want you to get shot. So what does Andrew do? He picks up an explosive barrel, walks into the path of the gauntlet while I'm saying, dude, what do you do? He dies. The explosive barrel ignites, comes straight back to me, and blows me up. It may be one of the most random instances in a video game where everything just colluded to perfection, and it came out with just co-op chaos, dude.
It went downhill from there, man. It was not a good time. We're trying to watch Worthy and Logan fight off and extract, and it's not a good time.
But man, yeah, apparently there's a lot of problems. The matchmaking did not work at all. I don't even know if it still works yet. I haven't played today, but I think overall, like I don't want to repeat myself too many times, but the game delivers on exactly what it promises and exactly what it set out to be, and it doesn't ever try to be anything that it's not, you know? And I think it is exactly what I wanted it to be. It's a game we can come back to anytime. We're all free. Sit down. We'll play a couple hours of Helldivers, and we'll probably have a fucking hell of a time. So, and props to it. We'll talk about it later. It seems to be catching an audience. Hopefully it continues to grow, but it did good. Sony's probably happy. Arrowhead's probably happy. We're probably looking at Arrowhead possibly being the next acquisition by PlayStation. That makes sense. It's the only one that makes sense in the entire world. People are telling me PlayStation should buy Square Enix. Or PlayStation should buy fucking Take-Two. I'm like, first of all, how is PlayStation going to buy Take-Two? That's, I guess they could borrow the money. They probably have good equity, but Arrowhead seems like a no-brainer. You know?
Yeah.
They made Helldivers for you. Something in the background happened where they went and did something else, and Helldivers 2 took a long time to come out because Helldivers 1 came out in 2015. So I don't know exactly when they started working on Helldivers 2 in earnest, but, you know, I think after what we saw happen with Bungie and the catastrophe that is Bungie right now, it was the first and only time we've seen PlayStation really step outside their norm of how they acquire studios. You know, they usually don't acquire studios unless they have a working relationship with that studio. You know, maybe they've made a game for them, or they've worked on a port of a game for them, or there's some sort of set up relationship between PlayStation and the studio that they are acquiring. And they went away from that with Bungie, and Bungie has completely shit the bed. It really looks like PlayStation spent $4 billion on a fucking dud, and over $1 billion of that $4 billion was to keep the talent of the studio, and now the talent's leaving. And now Sony is having to step in to run the studio when that wasn't the point in the first place. They bought the studio for that studio's knowledge. And honestly, that whole situation looks like it's a clusterfuck waiting to happen. And I don't know. I don't actually know who I feel bad for, if any of them. Shit happens in business, but that looks like that looks like it might have been Jim Ryan's death nail. And the reason why he's no longer the head of PlayStation Studios. So yeah. I fucking love it, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I've had the urge all day to sit down and play it. Obviously, we have to record. I guess we don't have to. Could have not recorded it, but I want to record it for you guys. So, and yeah, the only thing I can say is, dude, I just want to play it right now. And I think that's the best review I can give on it, or impression I can give on it.
I don't know. We'll play this. I mean, we're gonna play this weekend. We're gonna play all of next week when we can, and we'll have more to talk about next week. Hopefully, we'll have the other person on finally, and he can give his input as to how he likes the game.
We'll see. If not, oh well.
Whenever he decides.
We'll keep it going.
All right.
All right. Well, that was everything we did in a rundown. Turned out to be a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be, but we're going to go now to Around the Point, where we here at the Experience Point go around the video game world and give you the news that you need to know about. Number one on Around the Point, a big story of the week, the big story around the gaming industry and even some other not industries. I just realized my hat is like fucking sideways, man. And the camera angle screwing me up. Anyway. All right. Xbox. We talk about them a lot. usually not in glamorous ways, at least recently. But anyway, here we go. Rumors have been swirling, rumors have been leaking, leaks have been had. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and it appears that a major shift in the industry is upon us. Xbox has been the center of countless leaks and rumors the past couple weeks, all surrounding the idea that they are about to go multi-platform in a big, big way. Reading from the Insider Games article written by Mike Straw, he says, as a new report claims that Microsoft is set to announce its plans to bring Xbox games to PlayStation next week. Xbox head Phil Spencer took to Twitter on Monday afternoon mentioning that the company is working on a business update regarding the future of Xbox. He didn't mention specifically what those plans are, but it appears to be the company's pivot to bringing its exclusives to other platforms. According to Tom Warren of The Verge, Microsoft is ready to reveal details on the company's plan to bring previously exclusive games to consoles like PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. That now infamous tweet by Mr. Phil Spencer is followed. Quote, "We're listening to you and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week and we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox." End quote. The report states that Microsoft originally planned to make these announcements later in the month. However, a whirlwind of rumors and speculation surrounding games like Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, Indiana Jones, and more forced the company to move up the announcement to next week. Let's start it from the top. We talked about it last week. Hi-Fi Rush was the first one to get the domino going. We heard about this a couple weeks ago. Talked about it last week on the episode about the possibility of Hi-Fi Rush. In my opinion, Xbox's best exclusive in recent years, coming to PlayStation 5, which I would be playing. I would be all over this fucking thing, man. With some trophies, you kidding me? Great, amazing. The one that this leaked was on a Reset Era thread discussing a video leaked with PlayStation rumors, and then the shirts and all the other stuff that was going on. We talked about it all last week. Go check out that other video episode. Jesus, I'm stuttering here. Also, along with that was Sea of Thieves coming to PlayStation. That makes actually a lot of sense, you know. Sea of Thieves, a big multi-platform, a big like kind of essentially a live service game in a way, bringing it to other consoles. Giant Bomb's Jeff Baum backed up this rumor, saying, "When I first started hearing these rumors, I was like, this is probably about Sea of Thieves because I've heard that it could come to Switch and PlayStation." There were also reports by former Kotaku editor-in-chief Stefan Tortillo on his Substack
Cool name.
GameFile. Yeah. And then the floodgates fucking opened, man. Starfield. At the beginning of February, a handful of reports came out alleging that other high-profile Xbox titles would be coming to other platforms in the future. One such title was Starfield, with Xbox Era reporting that a PlayStation 5 port of Bethesda's latest open-world RPG would be coming after the release of Space Shadow DLC. That DLC is currently set to come out sometime in 2024. Next up, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. At the same time as Xbox Era reported Starfield will be coming to PS5, The Verge wrote about similar reports in regards to the currently in development Indiana Jones and the Great Circle coming from Machine Games. The port would come months after the Xbox and PC release, which is currently targeted for the end of 2024. However, The Verge reports that there is currently an intense debate going on within Microsoft over what games should be brought to rival consoles and which games weren't. The next game, Gears of War. Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb once again added another game to the rumor list of titles potentially jumping to PS5, third-person shooter series Gears of War. On the Games Mess morning show on February 5th, Grubb said, "Gears of War is being considered for this." Cliff Brzezinski, lead designer of the first 3 Gears game, weighed in on the rumors, saying he has absolutely no opinion on it. The last mainline title in the Gears game was 2019 Gears 5, but the coalition is reportedly working on the next entry. Next up, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. One of the biggest Xbox exclusives of the year, Senua's Sagas, may not be an exclusive for long either. After Xbox Era reported on Starfield coming to PS5, the co-founder of the site posted on Twitter that Starfield is not where plans end. "Reckon you'll probably see Hellblade 2, he said on the tweet. This one makes a lot more sense than Starfield because the original Hellblade was exclusive to PlayStation, but then they bought it, so who the hell knows? And then they just kept on coming. Halo, what to be known as the biggest Xbox exclusive of all time. Even reports of Halo have seen coming, will soon be seen being playable on PlayStation. There's been some talks with insiders speculating that the massively popular first-person shooter franchise could be multi-platform in the future. The fans were then flamed by a job posting for a lead game system designer at 343 Industries to work on a Halo project for, quote, all players on all platforms. And we round that out with Pentiment and well, that's it. Pentiment was the last one, sorry. And the Pentiment, from Obsidian Entertainment,
Yep.
At least last year. And the last thing I wanted to point out was this other article. That's why I threw this one in here, is because they have a little bit more information on it. Yes, here it is. So it says, furthermore, it has been claimed Microsoft is making even more of an investment into PS5 dev kits to support the supposed multi-platform strategy it may adopt. There is no regarding secondary source that I could find for that. That was reading from an IGN's article about this. I could not find a secondary backup source to support that. But there it is, man. People have been, the floodgates opened. You had Xbox era, you had Jeff Grubb, you had Reset era, you had Kotaku, you had The Verge. Everybody was leaking everything. Yep. What's true? What's not? Which one's coming? Which one isn't? Well, probably, that's not what we're going to talk about here. We'll find all that in the coming months and years, probably.
He says,
what we're going to talk about here, what we're going to dive into here is, what does this mean for the industry? What does it mean for Xbox? What does it mean for PlayStation? What does it mean for us as gamers? And we'll dive into all that and more. But before we get into the nitty gritty, the high level and low level thoughts, Andrew, what is your overall take on everything that's gone down this week? Because it has been a fucking hectic week. Every single hour, I feel like I'm getting a new leak story, My phone's blowing up when I'm trying to learn kumbaya in Spanish,
Three words. Long time coming. I feel like if you're a person in the gaming industry, Mike can probably say it, you knew this was happening. Did we know this was going to happen this year? No. I think down the line, Mike can agree. I think by 2030, I think we were gonna see a one. There wasn't gonna be exclusives anymore. It was gonna be all one thing, which Mike doesn't like about that. He likes the idea of exclusives. PlayStation exclusives, yes, you do. Don't. Or you like the idea that PlayStation makes better exclusives. I guess we can go with that. Whoops. Yeah. Long time coming. We knew some form of this would be happening. I did not think it would be this soon. But yeah, let's dive into it because I have a lot more to say. Okay, Mike said give him a second.
Bad timing. I was chewing a wafer. No, to get just I guess defend myself real quick. I am not like a fanboy of PlayStation. I love PlayStation because they make the games that I care most about. And I personally feel like through my 25 years of play, they are way more consistent with the quality of games that they come out than the direct competitor Xbox. Nintendo is also really, really great, but they don't make exactly the games that I love. I make the games I like, not the games that I love. If PlayStation stopped making games and they came out with dog shit at the dog shit game, I'd happily move on to Xbox or my PC or whoever is making the games that I want to play. But I play PlayStation, and I've been a believer in PlayStation because they continually, over and over and over again, make some of the best games in the industry. Arguably, which ones are better than the other, but it's understood that they make some of the best single-player, narrative-driven games in the industry, which is what I play games for. All right, my defense over. Moving into this. I want to start with what this means for Xbox, because I think that is the most important thing. The brand, the people, the supporters, everybody. This is probably one of the most intelligent things I've seen Phil Spencer and Xbox do in terms of what it means for the brand and what it means for the players of their games. I'll get into what I think it means for their business, because that means there's a little bit less because it's fucking Microsoft. They have trillions of dollars backed up in this. So what I think it means for Xbox as a brand is, like Andrew said, it's been a long time coming. Ever since the introduction of Game Pass back in 2018, 2019, we weren't doing the podcast yet, but I said to Logan, hadn't met Andrew yet, but I said to Logan back then, there will a time this will lead Xbox to not even having a box anymore or not carrying at all about the box. And I think
Yep.
if this is all true, again, this is all rumor and speculation. Nothing has been confirmed. Nothing has been substantiated at all yet by anybody that actually has a say in these decisions. So take everything with a grain of salt. We're just talking hypothetical, high-level stuff here. If this is what Xbox is doing, if all the rumors are true, they are saying what they've been saying for what Phil Spencer's been saying for the last year. We lost and we cannot catch back up. The people who play on PlayStation now, thanks to digital libraries and all that, will always play on PlayStation. The people who play on Nintendo will always play on Nintendo. The people who play on PC and Steam will always play on PC and Steam. They took a shit on the worst generation they possibly could. And that was last generation, the Xbox One and PS4 generation. That was the worst one they could have lost because that was when PlayStation built their digital library. They built the PS4. And the PS4 is, in my opinion, going to be the baseline of PlayStation going forward. You're always going to be able to play PS4 games no matter what happens, no matter what console is out there, no matter what. PS3, PS2, PS1, we're trying to figure that out. But PS4 will be the baseline. You will always be able to play PS4 games no matter what happens as long as PlayStation is a console manufacturer. And Xbox lost that generation. And Phil Spencer keeps saying it. There's nothing we can do. He said Starfield could be a 10 out of 10, which it wasn't. But he said it could have been, and it still wouldn't have moved consoles. And we see that every single time we get console numbers, they're just falling far behind. The fact that at this point in the generation, 3 years and a couple months in, Xbox Series X and Series S, widely regarded as significantly better consoles than the predecessors in the Xbox One series of consoles. Significantly. Like, not even close. Are underperforming to what they did. That tells you one thing right there. It doesn't matter. Xbox players are playing on Game Pass, or playing on PC, and they're just not going out there and buying the box like they used to. Because there's not a huge reason. Those people who played on PC that bought Xboxes for the Halos and for all this other stuff, no longer have to buy Xbox. No. Doesn't matter to Microsoft because they're playing Xbox games. That's what's important here. Does not matter to Microsoft where you play their game. It matters if you play their games, which is very important. And it's a very intelligent decision by Microsoft to do this moving forward in this time before any of the other two manufacturers do. Granted, in a reductive type statement, I truly believe they are the only one that can do this and succeed wholeheartedly without having to worry about the box. You know.
Yeah, when we do like every week we do console, you know, what do you call them? Console, I guess, like units sold. We do an update, you know, how many units were sold every month.
Well, every month, yeah, not week.
Yeah, most of the time it's usually PlayStation winning. I know Xbox was winning for a little bit when they first came out, right? No, they haven't won 1 month. I didn't think so.
They might have won a couple disparate months here and there, but they've never ever been in the lead.
Overall, everyone needs to look. Did Microsoft ever say a thing about it? Did they ever back themselves up as to why they weren't winning we'll call it a battle? Microsoft and Sony are me and Mike talked about this today too. Two very different companies. Microsoft can take the hit if they're not making money on consoles. They're a company that could take the hit and be like, oh, we're not selling enough consoles. We're not, we're spending more to produce them than people are buying them. Oh well, okay. Well, let's just do something else. Sony doesn't have. I deep down I think Sony has that possibility, but now there's no. Like PlayStation, but now there's no basis as
there's no incentive to it. It's like, why
Microsoft? Yeah,
why would
Microsoft has a lot more than just gaming. PlayStation is like they're fully reliant on their console and their gaming experience.
Well,
like, I think Microsoft is now up there, but before we knew Microsoft as software, anything like that, which is now what we'll talk about later, what they're kind of leaning towards, but.
To directly compare the two companies, PlayStation makes up approximately, I think, 42% of Sony's overall yearly revenue. It's the biggest subsidiary is PlayStation to Sony. Xbox is like 6% of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like, Xbox. Well, I don't think Microsoft would ever want Xbox brand to go away and fail because they created, they shepherded it. But they're like, we don't have to make a box.
If it did, they would be perfectly fine.
Yeah,
they would be like, oh wow, it didn't work out.
If PlayStation failed, Sony would fail. Unless without massive help from investors and everything else. I'm sure they would be okay. Not okay. I'm sure they would live on, just like, Atari and Sega have beforehand. Yeah. But it would be dramatic to that company's change. By the way, I looked at the numbers, and by the end of 2024, 4 years into its lifespan, the PS5 will have massively surpassed Xbox One in total lifetime sales. Right now, it's 50 million approximately for PlayStation and an estimated 21 million for the Series X and X consoles.
Yeah.
So these two things are not even close. They're not even competing in the same realm anymore,
It's like behind the scenes. You never know. Like, I always had the thought, like, Microsoft has never come out and said, never given a reason as to why they're lagging behind in the competition. And I was like, oh, they care. I want to say they care, and they don't care. Like, and behind the scenes, all this is going on. Microsoft is talking to Activision and Blizzard and making that deal go through. They're doing other things other than just focusing on, which they have the ability to focus on other things other than just a console, which is where the two,
and like, look,
separate.
Let's break down the numbers. All right. Like I said, I don't think there will ever not be a box for Microsoft. I don't think there will ever not be an Xbox. It may sell depreciatively like shit, and they're like, whatever. We're making so much money on Game Pass if this thing does go on to be successful, like, a lot of people hope it is, and we haven't really seen that come to fruition yet, at least from the insider information that we've garnered from the industry. I don't really know. I'm not an insider, obviously. I just read stuff and give my own perspective. But if Game Pass is successful, if it becomes profitable, that is the thing. They don't have to have a box. But there's always going to be somewhere to play an Xbox of some sort. But I mean, we're seeing it live and in person. Phil Spencer keeps telling you they're not competitive in this space, and Xbox, Microsoft, they don't see a way to become competitive. Because like I said, the walls have been built. The lines have been drawn, the walls have been built. I am always going to own a PlayStation. I may own Xboxes. Probably not anymore. I'll just own a PC. I will probably own more than half of the Nintendo consoles that come out. Maybe not all of them, but I will probably own them. But I will always own a PlayStation until they fail or until they stop making the great games because of all the games I have. Fuck, I have I'm closing on 500 games on my PS5, right? Sorry, on my PlayStation account that I can grab a disc and play at any time. Or re-download the game and play it at any time. And that's what Phil Spencer has been telling everybody out there who would listen, but no one seems to want to listen. They don't have a way to climb out of this. Because they just don't have that game library to back up and that built-in it's like Appleisms, like PlayStation is the Apple of the video game industry. There are the people who buy PlayStation stuff because Sony and PlayStation made it. And that's what they tried to be. That's who they want to be. And so far,
it's working.
That's how they succeeded. They have sold 50 million consoles, and it doesn't really feel like we've gotten anything from them in 2 years. Spider-Man. And now Helldivers. It feels like the only thing we've gotten. And Xbox, on the other hand, is giving you developer direct, showing you these games, coming out with the games. 2 of them last year were great. I didn't like one of them, and everybody hated one of them. But it's like, I don't know, man. I was talking to you at work today. It's like, I don't want to be labeled a fanboy in here because I'm trying to formulate my opinions from like outer perspectives of what everybody thinks. It's like, please, from a non-fanboy perspective, give me the last truly great defining first-party game from Xbox. Like I said, I think Hi-Fi Rush is great. We mentioned
Hi-Fi Rush,
but that's not the type of game I'm talking about. The closest thing I would say would Gears of War 5, but that's not defining.
I mean,
God of War
Forza as well.
God
But
of War
also still not defined.
defined something that
Yeah.
defined PlayStation. Ghost of Tsushima is world renowned for most players. You know, there's maybe a couple people that I would ever have talked to that don't like Ghost of Tsushima. You know, give me the game from Xbox that is beloved by their fans and everybody else. It's been a long
Yeah.
time. It's been
Been
a
a long time.
long time
I mean,
since
you go
Xbox,
back.
probably since 360, honestly,
Hmm.
because I don't remember one that came out on Xbox One, and I own an Xbox One. I still own an Xbox One. It's in my attic, right next to my Wii U. Both those consoles belong there. But I'm trying to be in earnest here. Like last year, we were all so excited. Hi-Fi Rush came out. Shadow dropped in the developer direct. Boom, Xbox fucking killing it. Off to the races. Here we go. They're back. They're going to sell more consoles. They're going to do this thing. Redfall.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. They fixed Halo Infinite. Yes. Halo's back, baby. Starfield. Which sold pretty damn well. But if you were to say that's the type of reception and the type of hullabaloo that Microsoft wanted to make when they bought Bethesda,
Come on.
I'm gonna call you some bullshit there. They wanted something Skyrim level, Skyrim size, and they didn't get it. And it's like, God, it's like every single time they climb that ladder and the fucking ladder just breaks on them every single time.
It's weird. It's one of the things that I think about is innovation and how PlayStation is very far ahead. PlayStation is making, obviously the Portal is now out. They've got the new headset coming out. They've got their earbuds coming out. They've got, oh my God, what don't they have? Like the one thing, what don't they have coming out? There are a list of things. Let's not talk about that. We'll just get in a big deal. Portable devices. Backbone made one compatible with Xbox and PlayStation. Physical devices, what is Xbox doing? What are they doing? They're
Yeah.
not worried about
PlayStation
it.
PlayStation not only has oh, I had the words in my head. Oh my God.
Where I'm kind of going with that is they want to focus strictly on hardware and software. Hardware meaning, like Mike said, there will be a box. Don't know what the box will look like. Don't know how it will perform. Don't know how many years often we'll get a box, but there will be a box. Like the physical devices, the handhelds, like Nintendo's coming out with the Steam Deck. Lenovo is coming out with the PlayStation Portal. There's already talks of obviously the new PlayStation handheld. PlayStation has to do that to be sustainable and to keep on, innovating and creating new things. Microsoft, we don't need a handheld. That's more money we could spend when we could be using that on something else. While they're being smart about it, they have that something else because they have a wide range of things that Sony does not have. Sony doesn't just have the power to not make a handheld and allocate that money elsewhere because they know that they'll be making money with the handheld. If they don't make the handheld, they're losing out on money, but they know that they could be making because they know there's not competition. You're not really competing with the Nintendo Switch because Nintendo Switch is, entirely separate. It's just for okay, I don't want to say that because PlayStation Portal is just for PlayStation. Let's find something else. I wouldn't say those are in competition.
I did some more. Sorry, I did some more digging into what this PlayStation proposed PlayStation portable will be, and it's essentially the Steam Deck to a PC. Like they say it's going to be able to play the entire library of PS4 games, and will have the capability to play PS5 games with like a developer patch. And if that's what that device is, I just talked about it. PS4 is the baseline. You will always be able to play all of your PS4 games, always, until the company fails.
It's not it's not.
By the way,
I don't like the people that
if that's what that device is. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't like people on Twitter and everything I'm watching about trying to say how they're competing. The Switch Nintendo has nowhere else to go. That's what they're focused on is Switch. They don't have a console. PlayStation, they made the Portal to be compatible with their console. This handheld is not just a bait. Nintendo, it's all they have. They have to have the Switch, and they're gonna keep on improving it. That's fine, but it's not a competition. Technically, it was great by PlayStation to make that move because there is no real competition for that kind of device. I mean, you're competing with the Steam Deck, and you're competing with like Nintendo Switch, whatever. Okay, Steam Deck can play both, but PlayStation users like you knew you weren't getting a Steam Deck. You were getting that PlayStation Portal because you know the benefits of it, and I think you were just gonna have a better time playing that Portal. Um, so where's that all leading up to? Microsoft does not need a physical device at all. They
No,
will.
they don't need one.
They
But I think
will.
there will. I think there will always be one.
They will
They don't
always.
need
Yes.
one, but there will always
Yes.
be one.
But physical devices, that won't be something we see from Microsoft. It will be strictly hardware. That's kind of like these rumors, and if they turn out to be true, that's set in stone. That's what we're focused on.
Yeah. All right. So we've discussed what it means for Xbox as a brand. What does it mean for players? Well, this is pretty cut and fucking dry. This is excellent. This is amazing. You couldn't ask for any more as a player base. Honestly, you could ask for more. You could ask for all publishers to do this. For Sony, for Nintendo, for everybody to put their games everywhere. Is that going to happen? I'll tell you what, no. Because like I said, Microsoft has the money to do this. PlayStation needs PlayStation 5s to sell. And they need to have a reason why PlayStation 5s sell. Nintendo needs to sell Switches, and there has to be a reason why people buy the Switch. And those reasons are the games that are on that console. Not just the games you can play everywhere, but the games that you can only play on that console. It may be an old world thought. It may be, ancient ideologies of industry, but it works. It's successful. And until they stop seeing that success happen, it's not going to change. So, where does that leave us as players? Again, in the best possible place. If you got a PlayStation, if you got a PC, now you can play everything. At least all the games that Xbox does send out to you, yada, yada, yada. I guess you need a Switch. Never mind. Sorry. You got a Switch, PlayStation, PC, which is what I have. And I can play every single video game that's ever released.
Mm-hmm.
So now you need 3 devices. A total of, $1,500 PC, $500 console, $200 Switch. $2,300. A lot of money. Granted, it's a lot of money. But that is what you need to play every single game. And that's what it is. That's what it means to be gaming. One more thing I did want to say about Xbox before we wrap it up and move on is this is a no-brainer, honestly. You think they have the people on the Xbox, they have people on PC, people on Game Pass, getting all those games, subscribing, and now you say, yeah, PlayStation owners, you can buy Starfield, you can buy Halo, you can buy Gears of War. That'll be $70, please. Boom.
Yeah.
Now you're making money by putting your games on your rival's console.
Think about. Okay, so now Xbox is doing this with PlayStation. Basically, I'll call it in terms is not a partnership. We'll call it a partnership for right now.
It's not a partnership. It's the same thing that Ubisoft putting the game on PlayStation.
Yeah.
You just got to pass certification.
By allowing.
Okay. Can you imagine if PlayStation denied it? That'd be fucking wild. That'd be wild.
By allowing your games to now go on PlayStation, think about the possibilities of them getting the knowledge of people that work in PlayStation. They'll now be able to bring ideas. They'll be able to get Xbox will get to ideas from the people doing stuff better than them. Is what I'm getting at. Like they now have that. Now why I don't think they'll be collaborating as much. No, it's always going to be you're exclusive to your company. You work for your company. Yada yada yada. But I feel like
they're not going to collaborate. They hate each other.
Both sides can win here. You just gotta play it smart. I mean, Activision, Blizzard, all that, Microsoft, that was like we knew that. That was kind of a slap in the face of Sony in a way, like, we can do this, you can't. And it was like, okay, you get Call of Duty games and what else? I mean, we still have all of our games. It's, it really doesn't compare. Players should be happy that now you don't need an Xbox and a PlayStation. You don't. There's that big war going on. Let's cool it down. Now we can stop complaining about games that you like because you play on the one console. Bitch, I can play it on the same one too now. So fuck you. Like it's. Well, like I said, and we'll learn more He says next week. I don't know if it'll be next week. Don't know how much we could trust about that.
I
I'd
mean,
say in the next
I think
2
he'll
weeks
talk
we'll get
next
a
week, but he's not going to go on the stage and be like, this game's coming to PlayStation, this game's coming to PlayStation, this game's coming to PlayStation, this game's not, this game would be a PlayStation launch, this game would come. He's not going to fucking give you the roadmap. He's going to say, hey, it's official. We are going to be bringing more of our games to other platforms. He's probably not even going to say PlayStation because Phil Spencer, for how transparent he is, he fucking speaks out both sides of his mouth all the time.
No.
Just like he said, oh, is Starfield going to be exclusive? Well, we take each game on a case-by-case basis, We don't know until you know. Phil Spencer, I like the guy. A lot of people like him, but he fucking talks out his ass all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, he may, you know what? We may next week be like, first game's coming to rival consoles. They're not gonna say rival consoles, to other platforms. Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves coming to PlayStation 5 later this year. And that's probably all he'll say. He says, going forward, we will widen our stamp on the industry, widen our breadth, widen where we put games. Because again, their goal, and I believe this is one thing Phil Spencer has never talked out of his ass off. He has constantly said, we want our games to be able to play wherever you play. And I fully believe he 100% means that when he says it. It's just hard to do that. Because again, PlayStation wants you to buy everything on their console. So it's like this weird back and forth. And who the fuck knows what Nintendo's doing? I have no clue what's going on over there. But hey, they just passed 139 million units sold of Switches. They're climbing so closely to beat the PlayStation and Nintendo DS. It is fucking, dude, they're getting way closer than anyone thought they would. So
there's stuff that just came out today. We should hear something, they said, as early as next week about the next Switch. So we may be hearing something soon from them. We'll see.
We've been hearing rumors about the Switch for 2 years.
I don't think they want to be in the shadow of Xbox if they're going to do something next week. But I think by the end of the month...
Nintendo doesn't give a fuck. They launched a new Mario game the same day as Spider-Man. You think they care? You think Nintendo gives a flying fuck what PlayStation or Xbox does? I don't even think they know they exist. They may be high as fuck, just fucking drugged up on mushrooms over there, if you get my drift. All right. That was a good in-depth conversation. I like it. I wish Logan could have been here to put in his perspective as a longtime Xbox. I don't think I talk shit on Xbox. I said they're doing great things. No. I was just being real that, from my perspective and from a lot of people's perspective out there, they just haven't delivered on the games as consistently as the other two platforms have. And I don't think that's a controversial statement to make. Redfall came out last year. Name one game that has been critically received published by PlayStation in 2 decades that is that poorly received. The worst one is Days Gone, and it's like a 78. So it's like, close your mouth. All right. It was a good conversation. Like I said, I wish Logan could have been here to talk from a more Xbox-centric perspective, but he's actually more of a PC perspective now, so he probably doesn't care at all. All right, going on now. We got more Ubisoft shenanigans happening. I love this company. They keep me employed, I feel like, if I was actually employed as a video game analysis. Reading from the, what the fuck website is it? Games Radar article, and a surprisingly blunt report, seemingly acknowledging the challenges and disappointments that Ubisoft has faced in recent years. Company CEO and co-founder Yves Guillemot commented to return to consistently making good games. This is what he had to say, and now the financial report heard around the world. He said, quote, Ubisoft recorded a solid third quarter with net bookings slightly ahead of our expectations. This quarter provided us with positive momentum and marks the beginning of our turnaround to consistently creating and delivering high-quality, long-lasting games. Our performance was driven by the releases of Assassin's Creed Mirage and Avatar's Frontiers of Pandora, by the continued strong trajectory of the Crew Motorfest, as well as by the robust performance of our now deep back catalog, end quote. He also goes on in a later quote to talk about the beginning of 2024 with Prince of Persia and The Lost Crown, again being another successfully well-received video game. And guys, newsflash, spoiler alert, you want to hear something crazy? Stay with me. This is a fucking off-the-wall idea from the middle of outer space. If you make good games, people tend to play them. And people tend to support those good games and want you to keep making good games. I know I'm asking a lot, Eve. All right, Mr. Gilmont. I know I'm talking fucking crazy here. All right, it just came out of nowhere. You didn't understand what was happening. If you make the games, the players will come. If you know that quote, please, it's Field of Dreams. If you don't know, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
You
What do you
build
think,
it,
man?
they will come. It's a odd game to be basing your entire roadmap ahead of is Mirage. Like, hey, this is how we will now be better. I was
Well,
like,
no, he's just saying that they delivered good
oh,
experiences
okay.
through this game and that game and that game. And he's saying like there was a good catalog of games last year to help propel them to a really, really good third quarter. And I'm saying, yeah, you make
You
good
should be doing
games,
that all
you
the
put them
time.
out, people are probably going to buy them.
Yep.
There are very few times where a great game comes out and just no one cares. It happens. It happens quite a bit, probably, honestly. But not with a company like Ubisoft.
No.
By the way, we'll talk about XDefiant later. It's finally coming, apparently, at some point in time.
Yeah, they're in charge of, and we'll talk about, obviously, Outlaws here soon. They've got some news coming out. Come out.
What do you think about the highly controversial statement that if you make good games, people will play them?
How's that highly controversial? That's just like
I'm being me, Andrew.
That's proven knowledge, man.
I'm jerking your dick, if you know what I mean.
Okay. Maybe. No.
Maybe. Don't tempt me.
I don't know. I feel like I feel as if Star Wars Outlaw is going to be what makes or breaks them for this year. I mean, when it indeed does come out, it's a highly anticipated game. I don't feel like we should base Ubisoft off of this game, but if they're gonna talk the talk right now, then you better not deliver a shit game this year.
I mean, you're forgetting another game coming out a week from today. It's been in development for a fucking decade. We've been waiting for a while. All right, it'll be a good one.
Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones. Along with this new financial report and the admittedly forward-thinking Yves Guillemot, finally, we did get a recommitment to the games that he plans to launch in 2024 and an update on some games we're not going to get to play in 2024, but maybe in 2025. Skull and Bones, obviously the one coming out a week from the time of recording, about 5 days from the time that you guys will get a chance to listen to us talk. Also, he committed that X Defiant will come out. What did he say? Before March 31st. So I guess we played the beta of this back in September? Or no, it was it was July.
Yep, you guys played it in the summer of last year. Yep.
God damn, that's gonna be a while. But yeah, let's hope it comes out, and they've been working on it quite a bit. Hopefully they have. Yep. So that'll come out by at least March 31st, and then Star Wars Outlaws reconfirmed. Interesting enough, for December 2024, as he said it will come out during the final fiscal year the third quarter of Ubisoft's fiscal year, which happens between April and December of 2024. He also confirmed that Assassin's Creed Codename Red. I'm just gonna call it Assassin's Creed Red because that codename thing sucks. Assassin's Creed Red is down for release during the 2025 financial year, which ends March of 2025. Yeah, it seems likely that Ubisoft is targeting an October or November 2024 launch for Assassin's Creed Red. Wait, that's confusing. Maybe I misread the article. What's miswritten?
Because if you're that, you don't want to throw those games all out at once. So you're gonna have one end of this year and one start of next year. We'll see. We'll see what they do.
If we get all four of them in the same year, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, and then they did recommit that the Division Resurgence and Rainbow Six Mobile, their new free-to-play games, will launch sometime in fiscal year 2025. No. But yeah, I don't know, man. So I'm excited for Rebels. I'm excited for Outlaws. I read Rainbow, and for some reason I said Rebels. And I'm excited to see what Assassin's Creed Red is. I talk a big game, but every time an Assassin's Creed game comes out, I want to play it, regardless of what it is. I will probably always buy them and probably
It's in
be
the
disappointed with them.
it's in the
There's just,
blood.
I
It's
know,
just
man.
it goes back so long.
I've been playing the fucking thing since 2007. I've been playing them since I was a sophomore in high school. All right, I've been playing the things for shit, dude.
16,
18 years?
17 years. We're coming up on
17, 18
17
years?
years. Yeah.
Good God, man. I can't get away. I can't leave them now. It's just, no matter how much they disappoint me, it's a girlfriend I keep going back to. You know, no matter how much she whips me in bed, I
Whoa.
just keep going back
Whoa.
to it. Whoa.
Whoa.
It's a crazy concept, but you should try it. Don't knock it till you try it, man. Don't spank it till you see it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right, going on. Our next news story. Anything you got to say about Ubisoft before we move on?
I don't know. Like I said before, man, if you can talk the talk, I sure hope you better walk that walk, man.
Fuck, if
No.
EA can fix their image by putting out good games, Ubisoft, you can do it, all right?
Ubisoft
Fucking
surely can.
EA
Yeah.
did it, all right?
I will say one thing that always pisses me off is like play a game, fucking Ubisoft Connect pulls up. So no, I don't want to do this. I shouldn't need a separate account. Let me play the game.
All launches are
But
annoying.
that's another one.
All right, Helldivers 2. We told you we'd talk about it later. It is now, congratulations. That was not formulated the way I wanted to say. It is now Sony's biggest game launch on Steam ever, beating out God of War by 8,000 concurrent players in its first 24 hours. So congratulations to Helldivers 2. You launched on Steam. And while people may say 80,000 players is a modest launch, you know how many of the players are playing on PlayStation 2? So congratulations to Avalanche, not Avalanche, Arrowhead. Arrowhead Studios, you made a great game. People have been waiting. True dedicated PlayStation fans have been waiting for 8 years for this game to come out. And so far, it is not disappointing in the slightest for me. But I'm glad to see people are catching
What is
on.
it?
I'm hoping it keeps going higher and higher because, man, when I tell you my TikTok, all I see is crazy shit on Helldivers going down. It
What did we
seems like
say it was capped at? Right on Steam, it hit consecutive players was what was their all time high?
I think right now it's like 88 something, so it climbed a little bit higher.
What was their all time though that they hit?
It
Wasn't it
said
like 100
151, but I
and
didn't believe that. It did
yeah?
sound like considering
I
it
mean, I
didn't.
would. Remember, them servers did shut down. They didn't shut down. It was just impossible to load in.
Yeah. But anyway, regardless of where it is, like Andrew said, we were talking about what the hell were we talking? We were talking about Foam Stars. You can get a character pack for $44.99, or you can go buy Helldivers for $40 and have way more fun. That's your options as a modern game player right there.
I never knew we'd get to the day where I'm paying $44.99 for a pack in a game. But here we are.
That's just
Ah,
fucking crazy. All right, well,
all right.
congratulations to
News that
Helldivers.
we've been waiting for.
I can't wait to get back to it. But yes, we do have some big news for Andrew. He keeps talking about
Woo!
it. He
Finally.
keeps asking for it. He keeps wanting it. And he's finally getting. Insomniac has officially announced that
Dick.
the Spider-Man
Oh.
2 update that we've all been waiting for, including new game plus, new suits, and more, will launch on March 7th. This comes way from the Insomniac Games Twitter account. It says our next update is coming March 7th. Our title update for Marvel's Spider-Man 2 PS5 arrives next month and adds highly requested features like new game plus, new suits, and more. Watch our social medias for a complete list of features closer to release.
Add that to the calendar. Oh, hey, that's spring break week. Awesome.
Is it?
Yep.
I'm beating it
Spring
again.
break is spring break. We're gonna have all the time in the world. I'm not telling my. If I'm still at Lowe's, I'm not telling them it's spring break. Fuck that. I'm taking my free week.
All right.
Yeah. I'm just. Oh, finally. I mean, we were promised December, and then 2024, and now they finally have it set in stone. I was talking to Mike about it. I don't know. We know the delay was because of their hack. I don't
Well, not
know.
their hack. They got hacked.
They got hacked. Yes. I deep down I want to say that's not the only reason. I want to see more, missions they added, anything around the right. I'm not gonna have my hopes high. Like the last new game plus we saw, it wasn't anything like that. So it wasn't new missions, right? No, no. Am I
What do you mean for
am I
Miles?
mistaken?
For
No,
Miles?
for
The original Spider-Man?
2018.
No. No,
There was new missions or
no,
anything.
it's
Yeah,
new
it's the
gameplay.
same story.
But this is something that
So
PlayStation's been doing recently. Like, when God of War came out with a new game plus, it was a big mode, And then Ghost of Tsushima came out with a new game plus with their DLC. Or maybe it came out with Ikiki Island. I don't remember where it came out with. But
yeah,
PlayStation's been doing that recently, where they come out later with new game plus, and it's a more substantial thing than just play the game again.
yeah.
Which could
So
be
we'll
good, could
see.
be bad. Who the hell knows?
I'm just excited. Like, there's some games like I'm not excited to play the game through. I'm excited to play this game through again. So I'm excited. I'm gonna try and beat the time. I'm gonna see how long it took me to get through the platinum. Let's see if we can do it again. So
Oh, will you easily? All I gotta do is just do
yeah,
the story quest. I ain't doing any side
yep,
missions. Just
yeah.
ripping right through the story. All right. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I've been saying that one of my favorite things to do in those games is because I'm I'm weird when I play superhero games. I'm like a sucker for continuity. So like I can only
Hmm.
really like play main story missions with like the costumes that the character's supposed to have in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like the main,
Don't do
inside.
Logan where
Yeah,
Logan's got like
inside
the fucking
fucking
all white
cape,
suit and
ugly as shit, man. Anyway, I'm excited to go back through and like play a main mission as the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, or play it as the
Yep.
Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and see those things in those cutscenes for the first time, because I've never seen them in cutscenes. I've always worn the Insomniac suits for the cutscenes
Yep.
because those are the ones that look the best to me. But yeah, that's something that continuity in my head is very important. So I can't not wear the the suits that are supposed to be on the characters
Hey,
in the cutscenes. But I'm
that
excited to
means
go back through and
that
see it
means you
again.
got 1 week to get Rebirth done. 1 week.
Yeah, it's not
That's your
happening.
time frame. That's your time frame. You're on a
Wait,
time crunch.
hold on. Spring Break is the week after Rebirth comes out?
Yep.
Dude, you just
Yep.
gave me
So
the
we go to
big.
class. We go to class that week. Rebirth is on Thursday, and then obviously Friday we don't have classes. Yeah, that weekend starts spring break, and then we're out all the way until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, until the 12th of March. We're
Good
back in
God.
the 12th of March. Yeah, it's a long time. Yeah, but we talked about doing that trip, so I don't know. We got to figure out those plans or
No, we're
whatever.
doing the
We're
trip
gonna
in
go.
summer.
Okay.
I'm playing Final Fantasy.
And New Game Plus.
No, I'm playing Final Fantasy. Fuck it. Anyway, all right. The next news story. This is an interesting one. I don't know how general Call of Duty fans are gonna respond to this. But I put it in here. I originally put it in here thinking Logan was gonna be a part of this episode, but schedule's got.
That's okay. I think you know what kind of line I'm gonna say about a Call of Duty campaign here
All
soon.
right.
So
Well, this is
proceed.
comes word from. This is a brand new exclusive. Just came out today. That's a lie. I just saw it today. It came out on February 5th, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But anyway, reading from the Insider Gaming article, one of my favorite websites out there. Go check them out if you get the chance to. That this year's Call of Duty is set to embrace an open world campaign in Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War. Insider Gaming has learned it won't be the first time the series has seen an open world campaign. An open world campaign, though, as a first glimpse of what a campaign could look like, was first explored in the now infamous Modern Warfare 3 and its open world missions. However, sources explain that unlike Modern Warfare 3, Gulf War's campaign has been built from the ground up rather than using assets from previous entries. I love that little dig there by Insider Gaming.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Currently, the game's open world will see the player and their squad navigate the map more akin to that of Far Cry than anything we've seen before in the Call of Duty universe. Players will be able to utilize vehicles to get around, as well as using a fast travel system to get from one point to the next, although the scope of how many linear missions there will be remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. Jesus. Sources confirm that some linear missions will be integrated into the game. The campaign, developed by Raven Software, multiplayer, and zombies to be handled by Treyarch Games, will see the return of some Black Ops characters, including Adler, who will be a part of your team. Outside of Black Ops Gulf War, sources also revealed that it's likely the series could lean more into open world campaigns over linear moving forward. Call of Duty 2025, codenamed Saturn, which currently doesn't have an assigned leading developer, is also pitched to have an open world campaign with its map being separated into several different biomes and locations. While the pitch for the game is very much in flux due to its early development, 20 months until launch at that time of writing, it was said that the campaign's shift from linear to open world is primarily based on streamlining development over anything else. Whether this changes or not by release is unclear. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, currently forecasted to release in October 2024, will be the 6th entry in the Black Ops campaign. And for more information on Call of Duty campaign, keep it right here to the Experience Point, and I'll regurgitate all the news out there for the world. All right, I want to get your opinion first because after reading all that I just read, did your initial reaction change at all?
No.
Really?
Please don't let this campaign be 4 hours long. Don't do that to us again.
But
I'm sorry.
I have to say,
please don't do that to us again.
After reading this, going through all the entire article, this sounds fucking sick, dude.
Yes,
this sounds
the note
fucking
about
cool.
Raven. The note about Raven Software working on the campaign. They have done great in the past.
Well, they made Modern Warfare 3's campaign.
But they had help. This is just them.
No, they made Modern Warfare 3's campaign.
No, I swear to God, they were working with someone else, right?
I mean,
Warfare 3
all the development work with each other, but Raven Software was the lead developer on Modern Warfare 3 campaign.
Okay, but that also could be with the dig of using assets from Raven Software now gets to build it from the ground up, so we'll see.
Yeah,
please don't let it be 4 hours. Please.
I'm tell you what, this sounds awesome because I remember exactly why I'm so excited about this. Because I remember back in 2020 when we were playing Warzone and I was walking around this map, I'm like, how fucking cool would this be if it was just an open world game and you just got to explore this map and do missions in it? I said that back in 3.5 years ago. I said that, and it looks like I might be getting my reality. You know. Because, that Verdansk map, original Verdansk map, you put a game in that map, a single-player, narrative-driven video game, open world, obviously, but in that map, that's a cool fucking map. There's a lot of cool shit in that map, dude. There's a lot of cool POIs.
I will say, you bring up Verdansk, a little off topic, OG, Fortnite Battle Royale is coming back in February. There are rumors that Verdansk will be making a comeback March or April. So... we may have to get the free game just to get back on. Yeah, I have trust. I finally, after last year, it's hard to trust Call of Duty. I'm starting to build that trust up again. No, I will not be playing Modern Warfare 3. Won't catch me playing that. But maybe this one, we'll see. We'll see. Please do better.
Yeah.
So,
like I said,
fast travel system. Just a little.
But if it's an open world game, it's gonna have to have fast travel.
That's true.
Crazy would be, what if it's like a Far Cry open world game set in Call of Duty with the Call of Duty campaign, but it's fully co-op?
Yeah, fine. Because they were in the past it's been co-op missions, but you never got to do the actual campaign.
I just broke my keyboard. Damn fidget spinner, dude.
But actually having a co-op campaign. You might be able to win the year doing that. If you can capitalize, might be able to. It's a big stretch, but you never know.
Do we care about any of these next stories? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about how in depth I want to go. I might just tell the people.
Let's just go quick here.
All right. The Katakawa Group, if you don't know who that is, they own From Software, obviously the famous developers behind the Soulsborne games, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, and now Elden Ring. They have acquired what's the name of the company? They've acquired They have acquired Acquire, which is the developers behind the very popular JRPG series Octopath Traveler, the progenitor of the 2.5D art style, which is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful art styles we have in video games right now. They also are known for No Heroes Allowed VR, Akiba's Beat, and Akiba's Trip, Undead and Undressed. I don't know what those last two are, but I know what No More Heroes is. So, interesting. We'll see what happens. It's kind of a weird buy, but hopefully they get to still make Octopath Traveler. But I'm pretty sure Square Enix owns that IP and Acquire's made the game. So, a little bit of a... Sucks for me, even though I love Octopath Traveler. I've never actually even gotten halfway through the games because the way the stories are set up, it just can't pull me through. But anyway, all right. So Toys for Bob, if you don't know who they are, they made the Crash Bandicoot remakes, Crash 4, Crash Team Racing. They are fucking awesome. I love them, and we may be seeing the end of their days during the midst of Xbox's recent Activision Blizzard acquisition that resulted in roughly 1,900 layoffs across Activision and Blizzard. The San Francisco Chronicle reports that 86 workers have been laid off from the studio best known for Crash Bandicoot, Spyro Remaster, and Skylanders. Call of Duty developer Sledgehammer Games was similarly impacted, laying off 76 employees. The closures were discovered via official sites, yada, yada, yada. But the satellite site, Toys for Bob, is officially closed down, leaving only the main studio left operational at the time of writing. And if you listen to experts out there, these layoffs are only going to get worse this year. We're seeing the fallout of what happens when a worldwide contamination disease locks people inside and people start playing video games at a rate that hasn't really transpired begin, and companies take all that data and say, oh, people are always going to play games like this, and they crank up their workforces. They fucking hire so many people to try to make as many big games because guess what, guys? Our industry is blowing up, and it's for no external reason whatsoever. No, it's because everybody couldn't leave their fucking house. And now everyone's back to living their lives the way they did, generally speaking, before COVID-19 pandemic. And people are not playing video games as much. And now companies are like, why? Why are we losing money? And we have to cut. And that sucks. That's not the individual's fault. That's these fucking companies' fault for not being able to see a year into the future and be like, you know, when people go back to work, they may not play as many games as they are right now.
May not have time, yeah.
Anybody who has half a fucking brain cell could have told you, maybe don't overhire right now. Let's see what happens when people aren't locked in their homes and they have way less time to play games. If they still play games at the same rate, then maybe let's go on a hiring spree. So I feel sorry about all the layoffs. I mean, we're experiencing some of the fucking most impactful layoffs in the history of the industry. I think there's something like last year or something, there was like 8,000 people laid off in the industry. So far this year, in a month and 1 week, we're already at like 12,000, which is fucking ridiculous. That's inexcusable for an industry and for a group of conglomerates to do that. It's not fair to the individual person, the individual workers, whatever, that they got hired on because the company misread their earnings.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, regardless of how much it sucks and it's not fair and it's absolute complete bullshit, welcome to corporate America and the corporate world. It's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say. So it sucks.
Capitalism, we love it.
It's capitalism. That's fine. If it sucks and it's not fair, but I don't know. I don't really want to be a communist either, so I don't know what the hell to do. Honestly, I'm stuck. Just leave me alone, I guess. All right, one last thing before we get on that. Well, one last thing for the news before we move on to the next thing. But we are almost done. I just wanted to throw this out here. We all know GTA 5 is one of the most successful games of all time. If not, in terms of copies sold, in terms of money made, it is the most successful. But it's closing in on a milestone that only one other game has ever reached in its lifetime. GTA 5 and Take-Two have officially announced that it surpassed 195 million copies sold worldwide, which is a fucking ridiculous number. When you consider most of the sales that people are still buying, then also probably spend about $100 to $3,000 on GTA Online. And this company is raking in dough like no other. But they do spend a shit ton of money to develop their games. Like GTA 6 is going to be a $1 billion budget game, probably. Sorry, $1 million budget game. Sorry, at least 500 million.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very expensive game, is what I say.
Grossing, it could reach $1 billion of how much they actually put into it.
It's way over that. Dude, yeah. GTA 5 is way over $1 billion.
No, grossing for GTA 6, like you said, it's $1 billion budget. I'm saying grossing all together to develop GTA 6 could hit $1 billion. It probably will.
Yeah, it's estimated set next to an estimated production budget of $200 million to make GTA 5 back in 2013. It has roughly made $8 billion.
That's just, oh my god.
That's a That's a lot of fucking money.
It
But you
is.
want to talk about what's crazy? $8 billion. The single most successful video game of all time in terms of money earned. Microsoft just spent $69 billion to own Activision. I don't know how the fuck they recuperate that money, dude. I really don't know.
Thanks,
Anyway,
loan sharks.
congratulations to GTA 5. I hope you get past 200 million copies sold. That's an incredible number, an incredible accomplishment for Rockstar and Take-Two. Also announced, kind of dwarfs this announcement a little bit, or kind of got dwarfed in the announcement, but Red Dead Redemption 2 has also hit 61 million copies. It always baffled me. I guess it doesn't really baffle me. It makes sense, but it sucks that I think Red Dead is better than GTA, both of them. I think Red Dead 1 is better than the GTA that was its contemporary, and I think RDR 2 is better than its contemporary in GTA 5. Whether it's better than GTA 6, I don't know. GTA 6 is pretty fucking cool in that trailer,
It looks
so
pretty, yeah.
we'll see, I guess. But I've always liked the idea of Red Dead way more than I do GTA, but I understand the
Yeah.
appeal of GTA is much higher than Red Dead. But yeah, we'll see, man. I forgot to put the thumbnail, the timestamp down for that. Oh well.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's something like 208, some bullshit. I don't know. I'll figure it out later.
Okay.
I'll figure it out in post. All right. Well, let's go now to. Well, actually, you haven't said anything about this. What do you have to say about this? Sorry.
Um, God, what is there to really say about these? I kind of knew. I didn't realize GTA 5 was so high with copies. Now I know. I agree with you. I love Red Dead Redemption. Um, I personally have more fun playing GTA 5, just playing with friends, playing online.
Yeah, I was gonna say you are the online guy. I was looking at your account. You have 700 hours on GTA 5.
Yep.
So
Yep.
definitely a lot more than
And like,
me.
yep. So I've always had fun doing that. One thing about obviously the Red Dead Redemption aspect is the online aspect of it. They kind of they they came out with it, and now they're not doing. Obviously, Rockstar's looking at it. It makes more fiscal sense to be pouring in more money for GTA 5 online than it is to be pouring in money for Red Dead Redemption 2 online. There's people are, as you can see, people are buying one of the games more than the other one. So, I personally wanted to see a good online system with Red Dead. I knew that was gonna be very hard because you can't do the missions like you can in GTA. Um, but Mike, estimate as to how fast it will take for GTA 6 to sell 200 million copies. Will they do it in? Will it be less than what? Almost 11 years?
Yes.
Will it be within a year?
God no.
I
200 million
don't
fucking
know.
copies in a year. Are you kidding me? There's
Depends
no
on how.
fucking. There's no way that can happen. There's absolutely no way it can happen. Hold on,
We'll see.
I'm texting the love
There
of
you
my
go.
life to go ahead and start my food warm up. So, but yeah, no, man. I mean, it'll probably get there just because it is
Yeah.
so
GTA.
ungodly hyped. I mean, I'm pretty sure the trailer's over 200 million views by now.
God, what did the views get again? They got to 1 billion views.
I don't know. Go to like the actual trailer though, not like the sub sites. Go like Rockstar's site.
Okay, I don't want to play it. I've already seen it.
Yeah, I can't pull it up because then everyone will hear it. So, dude, my chair keeps
Uh,
shrinking me, dude. I am not this
okay.
small.
They're at 174 million views. So yeah,
On
probably
the
not 200
on the main channel. Yeah,
on the Rockstar on the main channel. Yep.
yeah. No, it's not doing
So
200 a year, dude. That's
so
the monthly.
maybe not 200 million a year, but
Yeah,
it will be a lot faster than 11 years.
yeah. All right, let's go now to Let's Talk Reviews, also known as LTR. This is where we go through the scores of your favorite games that came out each and every week and let you know how they scored and what people think about them. Like I said at the beginning of this, we have a whole lot of games going through, and I'm just kidding. There's literally only one with a score, and it's barely a score. Foam Stars has a 65 right now in OpenCritic, and there's only 5 people that have reviewed it. So take that for what it is. And then Helldivers
They're,
2 has 1 review, but is unscored. So that was it. That was your
we're
LTR.
working. They're working on it.
Yeah. We'll have much more. I'll keep them
To
on the
be
list.
just to be announced.
I'll keep them on the list so we can bring it out
Updated.
next
Yep.
week, and talk more about them. All right. But speaking of actually a lot of things to do out this week, this is where we go through the games each and every week and let you know what you can play when you can play them. On February 13th, Banisher's Ghost of New Eden comes out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. Dragon Quest Builders comes out on PC. Islands of Insight on PC. Lesfanga, the Time Shift Warrior on PC. Ultros on PS5 and 4 in PC. On February 14th, Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore. Seems like a winner. On PS5 for Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 Remastered comes out on PS5 for Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Yeah, I don't know if you looked into these, but they actually look pretty cool.
Okay.
It's pretty it's pretty in-depth remaster if you have
Yeah.
any sort of reverence for the very, very old Tomb Raider games. On February 15th, A Little to the Left comes out on PS5 for an Xbox Series X and S. Played Up on PS5 for Xbox Series X and S and Switch. And on February 16th, Mario vs. Donkey Kong on Nintendo Switch. And the long awaited Skull and Bones on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And that is your week in gaming.
Yeah, we're gonna get some 2 new scores in our league. One's for me and one is for DJ. DJ, remember, Skull and Bones comes out. That score comes out. You sit there with your hands tied. Don't do a thing. Let it ride. Also, please let Suicide Squad ride, please. It'll be fine. It'll improve.
No, it's not going to improve.
Have faith. Shut up.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this does, in fact, unfortunately bring us to the end of our show. Everyone who's been watching or listening, we just want to take this time, as always, and thank you from the bottom of our heart. Without your support, we could not be doing what we're trying to do, but please help us to continue to grow by telling everyone out there that you know we have the slightest appreciation for all things pop culture, that they have some new friends waiting to talk all sorts of fandoms with them. We would greatly appreciate it. Mr. Andrew Bergenstein, any last words?
Bergenstein.
Oh, it's fucking Birkenstein's what I meant to say. Whoops. Birkenstein. Andrew Birkenstein.
It's okay. It's just one of those nights, man. It's been a rough night.
I don't know. Yeah. Dude, this fucking eye is like, I can't see. It's blurry as shit because my contact's so dry.
Yep. Thank you everyone for listening. What a week we had. We'll have a lot of more exciting things hopefully to talk about next week. Once we play more of Helldivers 2. Get some more experiences. But the experiences we'll get playing more games. Yeah, that's what I can't wait to talk about. What all we play, get through my games, watch some new stuff. Yeah, everyone be prepared. This is what gaming is gonna look like in the future. Don't be alarmed. This was coming. We didn't want to accept it. So
I was fine with it. I got a PlayStation, Switch, and PC. I can play everything that comes out. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks everyone for listening and following along with us. This has been another episode of the XP Podcast brought to you by us here at Experience Point. I hope everyone has a great week. And as always, see you guys in the next one. Peace.